squash is finally putting out flowers. Of course, it's now really starting to turn off for all of them.
Conspiracy theory. Wow. I guess I didn't warn you because my microphone was muted. Sorry. We're playing now. Sorry. I was wondering, why is Karen not sitting down? I just said it like 5 times. Oh well, we'll just go. She's gonna play with the cat. No, I was muted. I'm sorry. Conspiracy theory, starring Donald Von Griffin, Karen Torres, Lloyd Montgomery, and me, the GM, Brandon Blackmore. This week's conspiracy theory is brought to you by Ballast Point Victory at Sea Taste Treat. It is a set of 3 different Imperial Porters.
Yes.
We've got Imperial Porter with coffee and vanilla, Imperial Porter with coffee and peppermint, and Imperial Porter with coffee and coconut. And at least one of those has got to be good. So, there you go.
I thought that too, but every time I tried mine, I thought it would be better with a chocolate malt rather than a coffee malt.
And you may well be right. We're going to find out. So,
they're not bad. Don't take that as a critique of them. They're not bad. They're just a little too coffee for me.
wow. I'm going to pick one at random. It is
But they're good.
Coconut Victory at Sea. I'm going to hashtag these guys, and maybe if they are not the only ones, maybe if they see the video, they might send us some free stuff, because that's marketing.
Ballast Point makes some really, really good beers.
Do they? Okay, well, let's find out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's recap last week. While having breakfast, John Morgan, played by Lloyd, oh shit, I need to pay attention when I'm pouring, is visited by 2 men in black who assure him that if he saw anything in the sky, it was certainly the planet Venus. Later, while Charlotte Day and John Morgan compare their notes and decide that they are done in Scottsville, Mark Savage knocks on the door and he has a strange story to tell. On his way back from the HP garage, Mark was met by Eddie Doris. Hi, Mark! Eddie tried again to get Mark to meet with the Illuminati, this time in Philadelphia. Mark responded by punching him and wonders why people don't respond to him in a more positive way. Anyway, and Eddie said they could talk later. Then Mark was abducted by aliens. Mark awoke on the side of the road about 50 miles from Scottsville and got a ride back to town. Eddie visited Mark one more time, but that did not go well. And considering how well it went the previous time, that's really saying something. And Eddie says he's giving up on Mark. He leaves him with the card with an address on it with Mark and leaves in a huff. Huff, huff, huff. Leaving Scottsville behind, Charlotte, John, and Mark head to Philadelphia, to the address that Eddie gave Mark. John scopes it out, and then Mark meets with Ursula Burns, who appears to be well placed in the Illuminati. She explains to Mark that nothing he's ever done or suffered has mattered. Not being a criminal, not going to prison, not being a teacher, none of it mattered. She offers him a place in the Illuminati, the true masters of the world. He declines. A hail of gunfire follows, and Mark jumps through a 53rd story window. The symbiote allows him to glide to the ground, where he rejoins Charlotte and John. And that's kind of where we ended, as I recall.
We made it back to the hotel, actually.
Oh, did you? Okay, good. Well, that's nice.
And met up with Hermes.
Oh, that's right. Wait, did you meet up with Hermes after that or before that?
After that.
Okay.
She didn't particularly care for.
Yeah, she seemed a little upset by the fact that we've been having, well, you guys have been having anything to do with the Illuminati, because apparently they didn't want the Illuminati to know about them.
Oh, they don't. That's true.
Yep.
That's okay. We haven't said a thing about her or her group.
That's also true.
I didn't even mention the Templars to the Illuminati. The Illuminati have no idea that there are other players, as far as
No, you
Oh.
did too mention the Templars.
Yeah, you kind of did.
I don't think you mentioned them as Templars, but you did mention the hot chick.
And then they said, "Oh, we mean the Templars." Sort of.
I thought that was us in the diner, but yeah, okay, you might have been.
Well, in any case, Templars is an easy one to guess. So,
Yeah. And honestly, they're the ones I've had the least contact with.
this is true.
So might as well stick the Illuminati on them.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right.
So, there you are at your hotel in Philadelphia. In one piece, surprisingly. There is not, at this time, anyone banging on the door, surprisingly. So that's good too. What you gonna do?
Brandon, while we're there,
Mhm.
I will start doing a search of information on the internet. I'm looking for not conspiracy theory stuff, but just weird, out of the ordinary kind of news. The sort of thing that might lead me to where the rest of the Illuminati are, or where their dealings are, or anything like that.
Oh, wow. Well, that is a very coconutty tasting beer.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't it?
That's kind of hard to
Mm.
imagine. Wow.
It is really coconutty coffee.
Neither of which are things you like.
Neither of which I would like in beer.
Right. I cannot remember who I gave that bottle to, but I gave my bottle of the coconut to somebody because I tried the vanilla and I tried the peppermint because I really like vanilla and I really like peppermint. And I came to the coconut and I just had to give it to somebody.
Well, I like
couldn't do
coconut.
it.
I like coconut, but okay. You can try to make a roll,
But you see where
but given that concealing where their secret bases are is kind of the whole point of having a secret base.
Not
It's-
necessarily their secret bases, but just any activities that they've been involved in, like strange, like spree killing kind of shootings that have been kind of inexpertly hushed up, or police reports of really weird shit that the follow up to it is completely the opposite of whatever the report was. Like, you know, stuff that's been covered up and hushed up.
You mean like the two things that brought you and me down to Virginia?
Make a roll.
Precisely.
See what you get. Let's see what you get.
I rolled a 3.
Well, nothing's really jumping out at you.
I didn't get shit.
However, since this is a convenient place to throw this in, there is a kind of an unusual news story. Let's see. You got New York. What's that, like, bitterly cold place that Anita goes and I used to work?
Schenectady?
No.
Oh no, Syracuse.
Syracuse, yes, thank you. Since you're actually looking, I guess, in here in New York and LA, places where you guys are all from and are or at, right? Syracuse is close enough that it shows up on like page 47B of the newspaper or whatever. A homeless woman walked into a real estate agent's office, shot him 3 times in the chest, and walked out. Nobody knows who she was or why. They just know it was some homeless woman. In the process, and see, that's where the story starts getting weird. Because in the process of trying to find out who might have murdered the guy, they found at his property in rural New York a cargo container in which a woman was chained and had been chained for like 6 months, and he'd apparently been sexually assaulting her that entire time. She came there to do some yard work with her boyfriend, who the guy shot and killed and buried on the property. And in the process of finding his body and burying it, digging it up, they found like 18 other bodies buried on the property. So, pretty strange. If anybody knows who this homeless woman was, tell the police. So there you go. That's really all you got.
I'm getting a little Vuja Day there. Wasn't somebody locking people up mentioned last week? 3 weeks ago?
First or second game, yeah. Lloyd's
Actually-
old boss.
Yeah.
Actually, his boss's boss at QBP Media.
Yeah. Connection, anyone?
Actually, I wasn't going to talk about the whole locking up part. I was actually going to ask approximately how many people do I remember seeing at that got shot up at the florist?
Oh, that was like I was actually probably also about a dozen to a dozen and a half people, but the separate groups of dead people because these had been buried one at a time over the course of like 10 years.
Okay,
So-
never mind.
He was a serial killer, other than
Yeah.
pretty
I mean,
Well, I thought it was just a really good, convenient place to dump all those bodies one at a time.
Yeah, that might be true if it were like a lime pit or a pig farm or something, but that's just sloppy.
Well, see, the thing is, these farms, who goes on them looking for dead bodies out in the middle of on a farmland on a regular basis?
yeah, no.
Who leaves a body intact when you can feed it to a bunch of pigs and get rid of it?
Very
I guess
true.
he didn't have any pigs. I mean, he got away with it for like 10 years or 15
That's
years,
just-
however long it was. So
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that's a sloppy serial killer.
I mean, most of them are, apparently, from what I've
Do they have a description of the homeless woman?
Caucasian, around 5'6", very dirty kind of. One witness described it as dreadlocks, and that was a white woman, and a black woman just said she had ratty hair, and she was wearing a bellhop's uniform, or possibly one person said the person who marches at the front of a marching band. And another person said it was like the coat from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. But when they actually looked on all of the what do you call it? Cameras, security cameras. For some reason, were on the fritz that afternoon. But it was that kind of uniform, some kind of like stylized military jacket.
be right back.
Could be bellhop, could be majorette, could be Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Could be a really fancy chef, could be red cap, could be chauffeur, could be...
Two people said the jacket was red, and one person said the jacket was purple.
Okay, so certainly not military or chauffeur, unless the chauffeur is for a very flamboyant person.
Okay. I do know that
Chauffeurs usually
eyewitnesses
wear gray
are
or muted
unreliable.
greens.
what?
Chauffeurs usually wear muted livery.
Is that a color?
Grays, dark greens, Brunswick greens, deep burgundies, muted colors in general.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, there you go. That's all you got, Lloyd.
Okay, so it's a red cap from the train station.
I don't know. What did red caps and train stations wear? I really don't know. Let me go look it up. Maybe it was.
Probably not that anymore, but that's the knee-jerk instinct.
Yeah, red cap.
If you watch enough film noir, you'll see him doing that.
Oh, naturally, what I find is a whole bunch of New York baseball caps. That's what I find when I Google New York Red Cap. Oh wait, who's the people who stand at the front of a building and open the door and let you in? Doorman?
Ushers.
Doorman.
Or doorman, yeah.
Norman the doorman.
Could be a very fancy doorman coat. Could have been.
Hmm.
Although most of those, from looking at the pictures, appear to be blue. I see one green.
It'll vary depending on the hotel. Whatever the decor of the lobby is, they'll try and dress the canopy out front. They'll dress the doorman as part of their livery.
Makes sense. But again, pretty much all the ones I'm seeing are blue. I see one red and one green. Interesting.
All right, so homeless.
I'm seeing red and black. I'm seeing burgundy. I'm seeing charcoal gray with gold piping. I'm seeing blue with a red cape. I'm seeing red with gold, red with black, burgundy with gray. I'm seeing a whole bunch of different for New York Doormen. But so it may be tough to track down.
This is. I was going to ask about this later, but I think I'll ask about it now. Hey, Lloyd. So Thursday night is a night that Beth works late. Is that correct?
Not anymore. She's off Thursday nights now.
Oh, what night does she work now?
She's off Wednesday night and Thursday night. She works She works early in the day, early in the week, and then later in the day, late.
Are there any other evenings where she does work that would be convenient for you to play? Not Monday, because I game on Monday.
They're Tuesday or Friday, I think.
Friday's really iffy for me.
Yeah.
Would Tuesday work for you guys?
Tuesday would be fine for me. Actually, getting off work earlier on Thursday.
Wait, what?
Donald, mute, please. Thank you. I was saying Tuesdays are easier for me to get home early enough for 7 p.m. game, anyways.
Oh, really? Hey, Donald.
Yeah.
Do your flatmates practice on Tuesday?
No, they don't. I think it's a great idea. I vote
Awesome.
yes.
Let's move to Tuesday. Next week, Tuesday. Is that cool with everybody?
Yes.
Awesome.
Actually, yeah, I'm not working late next Tuesday, but I will be working late the Tuesday after that. So.
How late? Is that like an every other week thing or just a one-off?
No. The third shift guy's on vacation, so I have to cover for him. So it'll be. I'll probably be at work until 7:30. I won't get home until like 8 o'clock.
We can start at 8 if that'd work for you. A little after 8.
No, you guys can. If you guys want, you can start at 7. I'll just jump in as I get here.
Okay.
I don't want you.
Chances are we'll start at 7:30 anyway. So. All right.
That's not
cool.
next week.
Next week we'll start on Tuesday. Same time, different day. Awesome. So there you are. Other than that, you've got no news leads at the moment. I may throw something at you later, but that's all you got right now.
Okay.
Coconut's actually decent. It's interesting. It's weird, but it's decent. So now what?
Don't know.
You have not visited the offices of, let's see, what was it? Lawyer. What's the guy's name?
Is this the person that Hermes was sending us to?
Kermit Lawyer.
Nope. She only sent us
Oh,
down.
this is no Kermit Lawyer. This is not the lawyer. This is Kermit Lawyer. This is the dude whose car was getting its stuff rebuilt back in Scottsville.
Well, he gave it to his niece, but that's the car, yes. That is the picture of the car. That
Worked at a lab here. Is that recall?
he is the CEO of Fort Dodge Labs.
See what I can find out about Fort Dodge Labs.
I'll give this to you without rolling, because it's just a matter of looking up stuff until you find it.
Yeah.
Fort Dodge Labs. They've been around since the early 1980s. They were doing really well, and then larger pharmaceutical companies basically started taking all of their business, and they were in danger of shutting down. Then in the early 2000s, like 2007, 2008, that kind of thing, their fortunes rebounded, and now they are kind of a boutique research lab. They don't actually manufacture anything. They do analysis of they do molecular and pharmaceutical analysis. You send them things, and they make recommendations on how to change the formula to make it do something slightly different. So they do testing. They do medical testing. They do materials testing, and they do high-tech 3D analysis of molecular designs, things of that nature. But they don't actually make anything. They just do the research and then hand it back over, and then somebody else then the company who hired them to do the research is the one that actually makes it and patents it and gets all the patents and everything. So they don't actually patent anything on their own. They just, it's part of their licensing for the research. They get 0.1% or something.
Research for hire. Yep.
I mean, is that, how
That's a
weird
real
is
thing.
that?
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing? Okay, cool. I feel good because I kind of made it up.
Yeah, that's an entire industry in this country.
Well, there you go. I'm glad I met
Matter
the
of fact,
realism factor.
in Ashland, there is a company that makes test equipment that tests the machines used to make test equipment.
Somebody has to. Yeah, sure. Okay. So that's a Fort Dodge
Actually, in
Lab place.
Romania, in one of those great little citadels in Romania, the one that Russia, it was never actually taken by force since the 10th century. And just down the hill from it is one of the highest microengineering plants, one of the highest tech microengineering plants on the planet. They make the tooling to make the tooling to make the tooling to make the nanosurgery equipment.
Interesting. Well, these guys don't make anything. They just do research.
Wherever you look, there are 3 or 4 levels of rabbit hole to jump down these days.
All right. So, now what?
Did we want to go talk to them?
Oh, they have their business offices are here in downtown Philadelphia. They're not in a 55-story high-rise like where you guys went last night. It's more like on the kind of the smaller office buildings around Philadelphia. That's maybe, I don't know, 12 stories. And they've got a floor. And their research facility is outside town in a rural industrial park.
Cool. Easier to jump out of.
Indeed.
You jump out another. You got do something, pull something like you did last night, and I'm getting back to New York.
Do some digging around, see if there's anything out of the ordinary about them.
Out of the ordinary.
Large
Out
number
of the
of
ordinary.
reports about the place, or employee complaints, or employee disappearances, or
Make some rolls.
in the sky.
What do you got?
I rolled a 10. If it's conspiracy theory, that's a 12. If it's hacking, it's 13. And if it's chaos, it's 15.
I think it's conspiracy theory. So,
Okay.
what are we looking at with 12? Let me look at my benchmarks. Oh, 12's pretty good. Valuable clue to a problem. Yeah, a couple of different things. You are not a financial expert. However, you are into the whole conspiracy theory, finding threads and tying them together to make a knot of nonsense out of it. So, the financial situation of the company, when you like start looking through, like, because it's a corporation, right? So there's publicly filed documents, and you go flip through the past 20 years of these, and you can find those eventually with your hacking skills. They were doing well, and that went up, 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 and then kind of plateaued. And then in the early 2000s, other larger, more well-funded research companies started eating their lunch, basically. And their business dropped precipitously until 2007, at which point there was just a huge jump. And the very next year, they built a brand new research facility outside Philadelphia in an industrial park. And since then, they have apparently done spectacularly well. And you look up their like tax filings and corporate filings and that kind of stuff, and apparently they're not Pfizer, but they're doing very well for a company that size.
They look like a made man.
So what now?
They look like a made man.
Yeah, if you share your research,
in the mafia.
yeah, if you share your research with Mark Morgan, he spots that as a trend right off. Like, that's what happens when something becomes a front for the mob. A failing restaurant becomes a thriving restaurant, even though they still only have like 3 customers a day.
Yeah, they made a deal. Okay.
Oh, and it is still run by the same guy who founded it back in the 80s, 1980s. And that's Kermit Lawyer. Oh wait, he didn't start it. It already existed.
Yes, the next
No.
question is,
He took over as CEO in the 80s. Never mind. He didn't start it. It was already around. Forget
Okay.
that.
The question is, do you guys want to continue pursuing this? I mean, weren't you doing all of this checking around for, what's her name? The one that I can't see.
Hermes. Well, honestly, I think. Well, for one thing, I mean, unless there actually is something to look for. I mean, except for the fact that they're clearly got a little assistance there recently. I mean, we keep finding little fishy things, but we're not seeing how they're connected. And Hermes has dropped off has decided to stay out of it for now.
Yeah, as I recall, now that you've refreshed my memory on that conversation, when you told her the stuff you had done and you'd gone talk to the Illuminati and you'd basically made waves, and she was just not thrilled to hear about that, and you found nothing in Scottsville, which is kind of what she expected you to find. So that by itself was not a deal breaker, but that you then basically poked a stick into the bee's nest of the Illuminati, that pretty much frightened her off, and she's like, well, we'll be in touch.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I had nothing to do. I wasn't kicking the hive's nest. We just we're recovering. We just got his butt out of there afterwards. Hopefully, nobody saw us, except because, especially since somebody was kind enough to delete all the video recordings.
Oh yes.
Well, my plan was to go to London and make sure the redhead wasn't a nun.
Well, you go right on to London then. I'll go back to New York.
Yeah, I was kind of curious as to what our next kind of plans were. I mean, you guys don't appear to be working for anybody at this point. I mean,
no.
There's obviously some weird shit going on out there in the world, but I knew that already. So
yeah, and really,
what's the next step here?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I mean, after last night, basically, I was thinking maybe it's I might head back to work and not keep burning up leave. So, but because I really don't know where to go next with any of this, anyways. I'm willing to stay till the end of the day and then ride back. But that's unless we find something that fights, I would like to see if I still have a job after the insanity that I got to deal with.
The thing about working in the tech field, you can always find a job. So whether I have a job or not, it's kind of immaterial. There's always another one out there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I can always find a place, at the very least, in some small town. In a worst case scenario, I can always become a fortune teller. Waste of a medical degree, though.
Aren't I just so lucky that teachers are in demand and highly paid in this country?
Mm-hmm.
I must have missed that bit.
Yeah,
Anyway, so
I think he's making a joke.
very much so.
I think that was sarcasm. I'm not sure.
More like dry wit, but at least you're on the right track.
Anyway, so we got to either figure out if this is worth pursuing, or I'm heading back and see what's going on in New York.
I don't mind pursuing it, to be perfectly honest. It's been kind of fun so far, but I wasn't sure what you guys had for plans.
That's pretty much my plan. Was finding out if there was anything left to do, and then either leaving or doing it. Oh. I don't know. I mean,
my plan is that I am a highly desirable commodity, and sooner or later somebody is going to want to hire me.
sounds like you have to go to overseas to get to for the other team that's still interested in you.
Yeah, it sounds like the Illuminati were the only ones who were really playing the hard sell on you. Apparently, what's her name? Hermes has dropped out of the running for you, and I don't know. Do you have a way to get in contact with the Templars?
I got an address in London. You know what? Here's the address in London. Tell me what's there.
You're starting to understand what I do for a living. Brandon, look it up.
All the official documents refer to it as office buildings which are currently vacant and warehouses. If you pull it up on a satellite map, there are police barricades at every street that goes to that court. It's like buildings around a courtyard.
Right.
All of the streets that enter that courtyard have police barricades, and on the satellite pictures that you're looking at actually have 2 police at each barricade.
Really? How long has that been going on?
How far back do satellite pictures get stored?
I don't know.
Months, not often years.
Roll a d6. Lloyd, roll 1d6.
3. How very average.
3? Okay. You find a picture from 1997, and you pull it up. And while the cars are much older, and the uniforms are slightly different, there's a barricade at every road with 2 cops at every barricade.
So, flying to London, are we?
So skipping Philadelphia entirely. That's fine.
I thought we're in
He's joining the
Philadelphia.
Merchant Marine.
We're in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you
Yes.
are.
And suggesting that we're planning on skipping out of Philadelphia in order to go pursue stuff in London.
Well, you totally can. You totally can.
I don't have a Templar. I don't have an invitation to go to London.
All right, from a sheer cool factor, I will do a satellite, a photo satellite check of this guy's, what do you call it, pharmaceuticals company, and see if they've got, police standing guard over it.
No, it looks like just a completely from the, satellite picture. It's just a completely ordinary industrial park. It's them. It's a company that makes signs. It's a company that turns big hunks of granite into countertops. It's a company that sells sporting goods equipment. And all of these places have in common that they have large warehouse space and a small amount of office space and lots of parking.
Okay, well, before we go to London, then why don't we just go take a look at this? You can do scary witch stuff. Why don't we see what kind of weird shit's going on there?
Okay, sounds good.
Like, seeing through walls and teleportation and astral projection and all that kind of cool stuff.
That does sound
Yes,
cool.
breaking and entering takes on a whole new meaning this way.
It sounds like you're taking half the fun out of it. All right, go rent a car.
You rent a car with credit card? Your personal credit card?
Oh, hell no.
Just curious.
A fake credit card.
Okay.
I haven't used anything that belongs to me on this trip.
Uh,
I'll drive.
okay, so we're taking
With gloves.
Mark's car, yes?
Oh, that's right. Yes.
No.
No? Okay.
Not if you're renting one. Why would I? Why would I offer my car if you're renting one for this procedure? I'm just offering to drive. I'm also saying nitrile gloves.
Okay. So is everybody, I'm sorry to be picky.
Yes.
Is everybody going to rent the car? Are you all checking out and going to rent the car? Or whoever got the hotel checking out and going to rent the car all together? Is anybody staying back at the hotel? That's what I want to know.
No one's staying back at the hotel. So
Okay.
we're going to
Charlotte, make your witchy woman roll. You need, I'll tell you what you need.
Witchy woman. Oh, where's my
8. 8, that's all you need.
where's my
'Cause it's-
character sheet?
Really easy. I fixed the dice thing. Remember it was broken? I fixed it.
Right,
Almost
so 8.
in fudge, but not quite.
Well, I know I have a 4. And so plus 8. Wait, sorry. Plus 6 on the dice, so that's 10.
All you need is 8, so you got it.
Yep.
As you are literally in the lobby, or maybe just outside the lobby, waiting for whoever actually checked in, and since John Morgan is the most bureaucratically inclined of the three of you, I guess he's the one who's handling this sort of stuff with his fake identities and
Also the one with the fake ID. Yeah.
and the fake IDs and all that. Okay, so while you guys are waiting for Mark Morgan, Charlotte, you get this weird feeling like it's not. It's like a dead person you know is approaching you slowly.
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 That's weird.
It is weird. It's a weird feeling, and
Look around.
you're sensing a profound sense of distress from this dead person. But just with what you rolled, you don't get who it is or anything else. You just get approaching. You're not even sure how close they are. Could be miles away, but approaching and in distress. That's what you get with that roll. If you want more, you have to spend a weird pool point.
Let me get
And you're all
more
up to full at this point. Well, you had a good night's sleep.
Yeah. Probably know what's going on. Don't want anybody sneaking up on us. Although if it's somebody dead, they can really only do so much. I wonder if it's what's her name looking for me? I did say she could see me.
Sarah Boyd, formerly
Huh?
of the People's Army of North America.
Yes. All right, what the heck? I'll roll for it.
Okay.
Or spend a point, whatever, whichever one it is.
Spend a point.
If she was part of the People's Army of North America, did that mean that she had Panavision?
No, it's and behave yourself.
Yeah, PANA, Panavision.
Okay.
Anyways,
Am I one of the few cinema format buffs out here?
obviously.
Moving on.
All right,
What do you-
spending the point.
What do you roll?
Oh, sorry. I got distracted by somebody making weird comments. I rolled a 9 on the dice, so and then +4, so 13.
Oh, Zowie. That's plenty great. That's demanding. That's a very good roll. So, things you know. They are about a half a block away, which is not very far. In fact, if you make a point of looking for them, you can probably see them with your eyeballs. And the actual path they are taking is they move toward you a little bit, and then they move back a little bit, and then they move toward you a little bit, and then they move back a little bit. And it is Sarah Boyd, and she is screaming. But she's looking for you.
Okay.
It's morning.
Right,
It's Philadelphia. You're on the street. There's lots of people walking around. It's like around the time people go to work. So
Yeah.
there's lots of
Walk
pedestrian
down-
traffic on the sidewalk.
Yeah, walk down. Tell what's your name?
Mark or John?
Mark. Because John's inside the paying for stuff or pretending to pay for something. Mark, I'll be right back. Special business. I pull out my cell phone, get towards further down the block, and until to the point where she should be able to hear me. She said Sandra, right? Not or Sarah.
Sarah Boyd, the dead
Sarah Boyd.
person
Yeah.
who
Pull out
didn't
my-
realize she was dead.
Get halfway down the get to where she can hear and see me. Pull out my cell phone like I'm talking on it.
Before you get to there, so you're
Yeah.
walking down the block toward where she is, right?
Yeah, a little.
what you're saying?
Or, Yeah.
Mark is being his usual sleazy self and watching her do it.
Fine. Okay. So as you walk toward where you think Sarah is, where you don't see Sarah, but what you do see roughly at the position where Sarah would be is
Huh?
you see 3 people dressed like this, one of whom
Oh.
is holding a box the size of a small cooler with like
Whoa.
a couple of flashing LEDs on it with a
Okay.
screen on the top that they are looking at, and they are stepping forward a few steps and then turning, and one walking back away from you a few steps and then turning once to each side and then to the other side and then moving forward toward you. And so they're doing this, holding this cooler, and the 2 people to either side of that person, and there's like a woman and 2 men, and it's a guy holding the box and woman and a man on either side, and they're all dressed in they're black suits, but they also look vaguely like uniforms. Anyway, and as you watch them move slowly toward you, that's where Sarah Boyd is.
It's either a trick or she's trapped in one of the boxes.
Just one box.
Okay, box. Okay, weird. We've got 3 people acting. Am I still down the street or down next to Mark?
Where do you want to be? At this point, you're about halfway between Mark and them. You come about halfway, and that's when you see them. They don't see you. They're focusing on the box at this moment.
I'm turning. Okay, I'm turning around, heading back.
All right.
Not staying out there by myself. So yeah, Mark, we're gonna have. It looks like there's 3 people kind of heading towards us, and either they have one of my a ghost, somebody who's a ghost I know in their possession, or they're trying to look like they're putting off the signal to look like they are that person.
Brandon, do I
Yes, sir.
see them?
If you go a few yards away from where you're standing to where the crowd kind of thins out and you can see them, then yeah, there they are. It's exactly what I described to Karen.
Okay, I'll take a peek and look over them and slide on back to her just as subtly as I can. Okay, I see them.
Yeah. They're kind of interesting.
So
John-
what do you want? I should scare them or knock them off or what?
I don't know. I'm trying to decide whether we need to vacate the area or deal with them, or whether or not they have my, because I think that it feels like my ghost friends over there, but that could be a trick.
Oh, you rolled a what? 12, 13?
13, yeah.
It's not a trick. She's there.
She's there. Okay.
There's no doubt in your mind. Sarah Boyd is right there.
So what do you want to do? You want to do stab and grab? You want to do a bump and run? You want to do how do you want to handle this? How do you want to get that box?
As it's one of my practice, I try not to. It is considered wrong to kill, but still, don't not know.
It's more of a guideline than a fixed rule.
Self-defense, yes. Always acceptable self-defense.
So you want to try a bump and grab?
Bump and
Brandon,
grab.
am I in on this conversation yet?
You're inside.
We'll say at this time you finish signing the papers or whatever, dealing with whatever. Let's say there was.
So he walks.
To make this
he walks
little.
in on. So you want to do a bump and grab?
So to make it more fun, one of the false ID you were using, apparently that card has been reported like stolen or invalid for some reason. So you have to do some fast talking to get out of that, but you do, and you use it with some other card you've got access to, and everything's taken care of. And then you're walking out, and that explains why it took you so long to come out. Fuck.
Yeah.
Hang on, it's work.
Oh, okay.
Where's my pointer? It's my boss, actually. Okay, taking care of that. I'm taking care of that. That's cool. Okay, cool. We're good. Back to what the hell else we were doing. Oh, playing the game. So, that's what took you so long and why it gave them so much time to do that. So you're walking out and you hear Mark Morgan say, "So you want I should bump him off, boss?" Or whatever.
No. So you want to do a bump and grab?
Okay, cool. Who are we doing a bump and grab on?
Oh, these three uniform yokels down the block. Seems they got a box that has one of her ghosty friends trapped in it.
Really?
Sounds about right. Yes.
Cool. All right. I'll distract him. You grab the box.
All right. Bump my grab.
All right. Head down there, Brandon.
Okay.
I look over at Charlotte. So, boss, where are we meeting up afterward?
How about on the other side of the block? Around the block.
Okay.
So
All right.
what are you doing?
We all got phones.
Walk down the block towards the person who's holding the box.
There are three of them. There's a person in the middle. It's a guy. He's holding the box, and he is focused completely on the box. The people to either side of him, their job apparently is to prevent people from bumping into him.
Okay.
Because he's focused completely on this portable cooler sized box with a couple of blinking lights and a screen that he's looking at.
That's it. Yeah, it's got blinky lights on it. It must be mine. Walk up to the person on their left-hand side,
Okay.
and as I walk by it, pepper spray them.
That would be the woman.
Okay, sorry. Just as I walk by.
Equal opportunity, right? Okay. So she's wearing sunglasses, so you gotta make a roll, and
Sunglasses don't help with pepper spray because most of it is sinus.
Either way, I gotta hit
telling
it.
you she's wearing
Right
sunglasses.
up the nose.
It doesn't do a lot of good if you shoot.
Okay. Resolving conflict. I had to remind myself.
Okay.
Go ahead. What?
I was going to say, I have personally been hit by pepper spray while wearing a gas mask. It don't help but so much.
Okay. For an attack, Attacker rolls 2d6 plus relevant aspect bonus. A
Okay.
defender also rolls 2d6 plus relevant aspect bonus. If the attacker's roll equals or exceeds the defender's roll, defender's health pool is reduced by 1. That's how normal attacks work. Now this is pepper spray, so rather than making her slowly die, what it'll do is it'll keep her
What?
occupied. It'll keep her occupied for a period of time. And we'll just say,
Pretty much so, yeah.
however well you roll, that'll be how long it keeps her occupied. So let's roll this dice. Gonna roll some dice.
Right. What? Agent of Chaos relevant skill for this, or
You know, this seems pretty chaotic to me. So, I mean, normally I'm not. You know, if you were just gonna hit her in the head with
I
a
thought-
baseball bat, I'm not sure it would be. But
no? It's
This-
not her style.
this seems very chaotic. So yeah, I would say 2d6 plus that. And she's
Okay.
rolling 2d6 plus whatever her defensive attribute or aspect would be. And for her, it's going to be, we'll call it 2. Because she's just doing research and the target is not expected to be violent. So we'll just say 2. Ew. Okay, what you got?
17. Felt the roll.
Oh my gosh. So here's how this works out. Because I got a total of 8. So here's how this works out. So they're keeping people away, the two on the other side, and they're basically like, excuse me, sir, please step aside, step around, please. National Research Institute, please step around, please step aside, thank you. That's what they say over and over again. National Research Institute, please step away, please step away. And they're not being mean to anybody. People are like bitching at them from time to time, but they're just being polite and just keeping people away from the person with the box. So you walk up, and the person like looks dead at you and opens their mouth and says, "National," and you go right in the mouth and the nose and the eyes. It's like, and their reaction is to inhale, and they go.
Is you pass?
So she's out of it for a while. Phew, I'm sweating just thinking about it.
A bunch of high school kids getting voluntarily pepper sprayed in a parking lot. It was kind of a fun video. If you're into sadistically watching high school students trying to claw their eyeballs out. But yeah, I remember one of them screaming over and over, "Satan pissed in my eyes."
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I suppose I should try my grab now. I think both of her companions are thoroughly distracted.
Well, one definitely is.
No. Both of her companions would now be thoroughly distracted. She is going to be screaming and writhing.
Oh, you mean the other two? The person with the box and the person not
Yes.
with the box.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I assume by now they're both going to be like, what the heck is going on over here?
What's
And
wrong?
that's when I am going to make my grab.
And then I will yell something utterly nonsensical like "Free Saskatchewan" and run off.
And my roll is a 10 to
Okay.
grab the box and run off in the other direction.
So let's see what happens. Free Saskatchewan. Let me see if I chase after you. The other guy, the other step back, goes over toward her, and he kneels next to her because she's basically on the ground going, "Ah!" It's just not. It's just.
It's not great.
Yeah. It hurts just to think about it. Just how much pain is going on there. However, he stands up immediately, and you run out. You freeze, and then runs off. And he takes like a step, and then stops and turns around and looks around. And he doesn't reach for the gun that is under his jacket because you assume he's got one, right? But he doesn't reach for it. Mark steps forward, grabs a box. The person holding the box, you rolled a 10 total, you say?
10 total.
Okay. You step forward. Person holding the box looks up from it at her. he looks up from the box at the woman on the ground and like, what's going on? What? And you grab the box and he lets it go and he goes, what's going on? And it takes him like a heartbeat to realize that someone has taken the box. And he's like, wait, what? And then the other guy who is the other person, he steps forward to grab the box from you. So he's going to step forward and try to grab the box. So
HB Charlie, hook and book.
hang on. There we go. Roll some dice.
My work here is done anyway.
Roll
I rolled better.
hanging on to the box dice.
I rolled a 13.
Well, that's pretty good. He lunges toward the box, but you swivel away, hip check, and then what was your plan? To just run, right?
Yeah,
Is that
I'm
correct?
getting out of there.
Okay. You run away.
If it, whatever it takes to get away from him, if I have to do this really strange jump over the crowd or around the corner or whatever, I have to, but I'll try not to look like I have superpowers.
Understood. Man, what was I looking for? I had a picture of. Oh, this is. I'm looking in the wrong place. Nope, still right. Nope, that's not right either. Okay. Well, you two guys getting away from these two guys. Actually, yes, it's two guys because the woman's still on the ground. Let's just make some kind of mass roll. Oh wait, yeah. I'll just roll. Who do you think can do the best rolling? How about let's do it like this. Just everybody roll over and over again, and the first team to get up to, I don't want to do this all day, 50. How's that sound? 50? Doable, right? Okay, 50. First team to get up to 50 either gets away or catches the other team. So I'll roll my guys chasing you. We got a 5. I'm going to do 2 at a time.
It's just straight die roll.
Plus whatever your stuff is.
I got
Whatever it be,
plus
like
3.
athletic or getting away, escaping kind of a thing. Whatever you think could be useful for escaping.
For me, former getaway driver, losing tail, all
That
good
absolutely
stuff.
sounds appropriate. So 2d6 plus that, and Lloyd rolls 2d6 plus whatever he thinks is the most appropriate for escaping.
So I get an 11.
What do you got,
5
Lloyd?
total on our side already.
Okay, what do you got, Lloyd?
14.
That's where the 25 came from.
Zowie. So 25 total. Okay. Well, we got 15. Well, you are significantly ahead so far. Okay. You're losing them. You're running. Out of curiosity, what aspect are you using, Lloyd?
Again, Agent of Chaos.
Okay. So when you're running along, you're like knocking over fruit carts and jumping
Right.
over homeless people or guys.
Running through traffic, and yeah,
Like
grab his dog on the way, hand it off to somebody else as I run by. Yeah.
it's like some kid playing the violin. You grab the violin, you hand it to somebody else, you keep running. You know, that kind of you're just off the wall shit. Okay. Somebody's reading a newspaper. You grab the newspaper, throw them into the air, and just keep running. Okay. So next run. I rolled really well that time.
I'm surprised at how well that works.
Okay, what do you guys got now?
Okay. I got a 7 plus my 3 as a getaway driver for a total of 10.
Okay.
Also 10.
Also 10. So you now have 35. I had 15, and I now have
45.
Oh, sorry, 45. You're correct. So you have 45. I had 15. I now have I have 36. I'm gaining on you. Okay. They're getting closer. 36 to 45. Whoever gets to 50 first wins. But if you both get to 50, it continues. So here we go. Roll one more time.
8 total.
9.
So that's 17 total for you guys
Yes. So
on that with that one. 62. And I had 36. I now have 2. I have 52. That's enough. You run through the crowd, you dive through an alley, you jump back out of the alley and keep running. They follow behind you, they run down the alley. And then you guys can keep running and then around the corner and then you meet up with Kieran. If you stay here...
I know why we won. Why we won. Because we exceeded their amount by more than 2d6.
That sounds completely plausible. I'll go along with that. So, what is this?
Yeah,
Ooh.
so as soon as they show up, we're leaving.
That is exactly what I was looking for. Yay! Because these guys are going to show up later. Okay. Yeah, if you stay here, they will find you because they are still looking, and you're still like on the same city block. You just are on the other side of it.
Yeah, they're doggedly persistent.
No, we were getting out of here anyway. We are getting out of here double time now.
Okay.
All right.
Where are you going from here?
Car rental place, I guess.
Horrible place, yes. Not
Oh,
nearby.
right.
There's plenty of car rental places. We don't need one nearby.
And we can even take my car to the car rental place.
Okay.
I'll take my motorcycles so we don't leave it behind.
Good idea.
So yeah, throw the box that hopefully contains the ghost into
Oh,
Savage's car.
yes.
I'll get in.
When Charlotte, when John Morgan gets like up close to you with the cooler,
Mhm.
Mark has the cooler.
you can resist this if you want to try, but if you don't, yeah, Charlotte just bursts into tears. It is just so horrifying what is going on in that cooler that it's just overwhelming. You can make a roll or something to try compose yourself or something, or you can open the box. Up to you.
Screw it. Open the box. It's gonna be in her nature to open the box.
Your choice, Pandora.
Yeah.
It has
And yes, Mark will make a Pandora reference as she goes to open the box, because why the hell not?
so is
Would you
Take-
like me to wait until we get away from you to open the box, Mark?
okay. She says it,
I'm not
but
saying
as she
that.
says
I'm
it,
just saying, Pandora.
okay, she can say that, but as she's saying it like around racking sobs. It is overwhelming.
Seems a little heinous. Pop it up.
Might as well get yourself out of your misery, sweetheart.
The way it opens, it has two like big heavy metal clips, like ammo boxes actually. Like you flip and then there's like a bar and then like you double flip it to like open it. It's designed not to just be opened easily.
Yeah, we use them all the time at work.
There you go. Visit page. Oh, I think this is perfect. What?
Well, that's never a good sign.
No, it's a picture of the guy that you're going to run into later. In theory, depending on where you go. At the moment, there's a good chance you won't meet him at all because you're going to be in another country. But if you do, here he is. I got him finally. Okay, yeah, you help Charlotte. She's just like struggling with motor skills because it's like watching a puppy being tortured in front of you is just heart-wrenching. Anyway, you open up the box, and there's kind of a Ghostbuster effect that nobody sees except Charlotte. And it's like light and swirling, and then like Sarah Boyd is standing next to you, and she looks like Charlotte looks, except nobody sees her but Charlotte. And she's like, Charlotte, oh my God, Charlotte! She like hugs you. Thank you, thank you. To Mark and John, the box opens, and one of the lights on the lid goes from green to red, and that's the only difference you see. Oh, and Charlotte's hugging somebody invisible.
Hug somebody.
I was gonna say when she's busy hugging the invisible person there, the box and go, fascinating. And he's absolutely most sarcastic. You thought I was sarcastic before you ain't seen nothing yet kind of tone.
As it happens, John Morgan, if you'd like to make a roll to figure out what the hell this box is, make a conspiracy theory roll.
7.
Oh, so close. You think if you had time to research it, you think you might know what this is. You remember reading about it, but you're fuzzy on the details.
Okay. Well, if Charlotte's finished having her emotional moment here, I'll pile everybody into the car and let's get out of here.
You get out of there. Vroom, you drive away. Behind you, you see people run across the street in the rearview mirror. I think they went that way. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Anyway.
And while Mark is driving, I'll do research on what the hell the box is.
Okay. If you have time to look it up and everything, it is an etheric trap. It's basically the real thing that the Ghostbusters Ghost Trap was based on. Of course, no one actually believes that an etheric trap is real, but it actually is, and here it is. They've had them since the 70s. Of course, back then they were like 3 times the size. They were the size of like one of those big coolers, but now they're like much smaller.
Apparently she was a class 5 free roaming vigor. Real nasty one, too.
Something like that. Oh, is Sarah Boyd's in the car with you, I guess. She's seen us see Karen, and she's saying how like she's so sorry. They trapped her and they made her find you. They told her that they'd let the pain stop if she found you. So that's what she was doing, and she's so sorry. She didn't want to. She tried not to, but you just don't know. It just hurt so bad. It just hurt so bad. She like cries and cries. Oh,
Yep.
Mark,
Comfort her.
this is the rental car?
No, we're heading to get the rental car.
Okay, so this is actually Mark Savage's car. Yeah, on the seat, because it's bench seats, I imagine, because it's an old car, right? No? Oh, it doesn't matter. Wherever, it doesn't matter. Wherever Sarah Boyd's sitting,
Captain seats. If she's in the back, it's a bench. In the front, it's got little fold down armrests on.
wherever
buckets.
Sarah Boyd's sitting, she's crying, and to Mark, what it looks like is there is very, very slowly like an oozing of mucus coming out of the seats where Sarah's sitting. Strong emotion from a poltergeist results in this kind of ectoplasm.
That's gonna be so much fun to clean. Yep.
Supposedly it evaporates.
Well,
Anyway.
they didn't get us. Get at me, and you're safe now. That was.
I'm so sorry. She
Yeah,
seems
I'm
sincerely
driving,
sorry.
I'm not able to see the seat base in the rearview mirror, so I'm gonna ignore it and hope it goes away.
Okay. Maybe it will. Let's hope so. So now what? You're going to
I
where?
might look in the back seat. I might look in the back seat when they're renting the car to see if there's anything that I need to clean up. But
Brandon, I believe
Probably
your
not.
intention to go rent a car and then from there go to the industrial park where what's his name's business is.
You do that
His
thing.
lab.
You leave your car at the airport. because it's the way, and that's where you rent the car. And there you go. $380, $291.
Hmm.
Wow. I think I have a good one.
Well, let's hope so.
Oh my goodness. That is way better. Okay, cool. Leave it there for now. Alrighty. So, you go to the airport. You're in the
Yep.
car. You drive out to the industrial park. You park in front of Fort Dodge Labs, which is one of a dozen different industrial park businesses.
Cool.
Now what?
Oh, hopefully by then I'll have regained my composure.
Yes, you've regained your composure. Sarah Boyd, due to the severe, and we're talking like some severe trauma, that she has experienced, you think Sarah Boyd might be ready to move on. Question is, do you want her to move on? Do you want to talk her out of it? Or do you want to talk her into it?
Normally it's my job to talk them into it. Comes with the territory.
Well, it's your call, because you can tell she's kind of on the fence at this moment.
Yeah.
She accepts that she's dead. It's obvious that she accepts that she's dead. The question is, does she think she has more to do on Earth, or does she think, yeah, that's plenty, I'm moving on?
Originally, I was before she decided to go look for her body. I was actually planning to tell her that once she got to this point, like, you have a choice. And try to learn how to become a pain in the butt for the people who did this to you, or you can move on.
What do you think I should do?
Well, I have heard, honestly, I don't have personal experience with that side of things, that you can eventually learn how to move things and be a real pain. And you know, you heard of all the ghost stories. A lot of them are true.
Well, what about the people who did that to me?
They could do it again to you, yes.
I don't want that to happen. Can I learn to make that not happen again?
I've never seen that before myself. I kind of just sort of inherited this a little.
So you
liability.
don't know?
I don't know. It's up to you. I'm just telling you what your options are, like I do normally to patients. So yeah.
I don't know. Tell me what to do.
Can they do that? Can we learn to do that? Not learn? Can I?
You guys can hear Charlotte Day's half of this conversation.
Can I figure out whether or not I can figure out whether or not that can be prevented from happening again? Besides breaking.
Roll something.
Okay.
The answer will either be you don't know or you do know, and if you do know, I'll tell you. Let's see.
I rolled a 3 and I plus 4, so I only have a 7.
You don't know.
Yeah, I
You don't know. You've never seen that before. You never heard of that.
So, I'll be honest. I normally tell people that once they get to this point to move on, but on the other hand, I've also actually occasionally told people, you know what, you can go learn how to screw with these people, but learn how to capture you again. So.
Okay, she says, you know what, I think I've had enough. I just want to move on.
Yeah. All right.
Well, thank you for your help. Thank you for rescuing me.
Of course.
If you'll have your friend pull over, I'll just get out here.
Yep. If you can't figure it out, head to a cemetery.
Ew. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. All right. But I think if I just go outside and just look up,
Yeah.
I think it'll all work
Normally
out. I'm getting a
figure
feeling
it-
like that'll all just work out.
Yep. That's usually how it works.
So Can you have him pull over?
Well, yeah. Mark, pull over for a bit, please. And then open the door for her. Good luck.
Assuming he does pull over. Okay, yeah, she gets out of the car and she says, well,
I
goodbye.
do. I nodded, but my mic was muted.
Oh, okay. She gets out of the car. She says goodbye. Good luck. Thank you again. Good luck on whatever it is you guys are doing. I'm sure it'll all work out. And you close the door, and as you drive away, you look back, and she's not there anymore.
That
So,
worked.
you've helped lead a soul to its reward, or oblivion. Potato, potato.
All right. Onward.
Anyway, so you get to Fort Dodge, and you're parked there out front of Fort Dodge in a parking lot. And the next building over is Granite Countertops. European Stone Concepts is the name of the company, but they make granite countertops. What's your plan?
And we'll let Charlotte do her.
Donald.
Okay. Sorry, I thought I was muted. I'm getting confused on my mute mode. Hopefully Tuesday will solve that.
I hope so so much.
If not, you need to have a talk.
Or something.
All right. Anyways, what were you saying, Lloyd? I'm sorry, I could not hear you.
I said then once we get to where we're going, we'll let Charlotte do the voodoo that she do so well.
So, in other words, you want me to divine, or do you want me to teleport?
Know what's going on in that business.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how you do it, but
Well, it would have been helpful if the ghost had decided she had enough of it, because I could have sent her in, and nobody else can see her. But that was, she needed to do that. But anyways,
I feel like astral projector.
astral projection. Yeah, there we go.
Now that would be cool. Sitting in a movie theater with an astral projector.
Slap. All right, I am going to attempt to astral project.
Okay.
And yes, Mark is a smartass.
And yes,
Spend-
she does slap him upside the head when he says it too.
Spend a weird point and do that thing that you do.
And Mark's creepy, so he's going to respond to the slap upside the head with, "Oh, baby, I like that, you know." Like a total deadpan.
Anyways, I rolled a 9.
Oh, that's enough. You're spending points for it, so that's cool. You drift out of your body and into Fort Dodge Labs. Okay.
Into Fort Dodge Labs.
You are not a scientist, so you don't actually understand what you're saying, but there's a receptionist desk that has somebody sitting there. Then there's a hallway with offices on either side, and there are people in about half of those. There's a little break room, has coffee in a box that looks like donuts might be in it or may have once been in it. You'd have to look into it to know. Fridge, coffee machine, and then there's a door at the end of the hallway that leads to what is in actuality a warehouse, but portable laboratories have been set up in the warehouse. So there's like little hallways between the portable laboratories, and the portable laboratories are about, well, they're big, they're good size. They're like, each one's like the size of a good sized 2-bedroom apartment. And there's tables and labs and microscopes and weird machines with screens and dials and buttons and little robotic arms and big screens and small screens. And there's also back here in this warehouse-ish sort of area, one of the little portable labs is a meeting room with screens at one end.
Well, I won't be familiar with robotics and stuff.
And there
but I am
are
a
people
forensic-
working. Oh, you are a scientist. I forgot. I keep forgetting. You're a doctor.
I was waiting
Yeah.
to be finished. I was like, I'm a forensic pathologist. I don't know robotics and that sort of stuff, but if it's chemistry and biology,
Yes. Some of the equipment looks like there's an electron microscope, which you know what one looks like. You personally don't use it in your work, but you know what one looks like. Stuff of that nature. Things that are designed to analyze very, very tiny things. And there's like tons and tons of computers and tons of screens, and some of the screens have like molecules like spinning. And some of the molecules you can kind of recognize, like, oh, that's a carbon molecule of some kind, or at least, heavily carbon-based molecule. Organic chemistry, you remember that from college. So, and there are also rooms that are not laboratories per se, but they are rooms with tables and chairs, and then like a dividing wall with a one-way mirror, and where those people would be observed by the other room, that kind of thing. Those rooms are not currently in use, but the rooms that are actual laboratories, there are several dozen people working in those. It is very busy. There's lots of people working here. Let's say
That's good.
45 total, including the people in the front office.
That's a fair sized lab.
Oh, this is important. In one of the front offices, there is a woman at a computer, and she's talking on the telephone, and she looks like this, and you've seen her before. Hang on, I gotta find a picture, and then I gotta share it with you. Here we go. And I'd like to see it. Here it goes. Doot, doot, doot. This lady. She's talking on the telephone. And she is the woman who ordered all of the troops to kill you and all of the other People's Front of North America people.
Aha.
And the sign on her door says, Cynthia Marlborough, Vice President of R&D. So, there's something, if you care.
Yeah, the person who had ordered me to be killed. Oh, goody.
Well, it wasn't personal.
No, of course not.
Should I add her to the list?
No, but it's still good to know.
Actually, she kind of made it personal when she went and talked to me before they shot me. Yes, attempted to shoot me.
What?
Yeah, that would make it personal.
No.
I gotta admit, that would make it personal.
That's
all
not...
right.
Okay.
I'm sure it's not personal to her. After all, I was just some lowly MD that she attempted to kill off. I wonder if she knows I'm not dead.
I don't know.
Not that I'm out. All right.
If she doesn't know, don't let her know.
Yeah, really. Head back.
Okay.
So I can, because I can't really talk to anybody right now.
Charlotte opens her eyes, and she's back. Of course, to you guys, she just closed her eyes and started snoring. No, she wouldn't snore. That's not right. She just closed her eyes, and her breathing slowed. And then she opens her eyes, and she's here again.
So how's it look?
Well, the personally ordered me to be shot at. Then it failed miserably. Happens to be what did you say? Vice? Did you say vice president or vice chair?
Vice president of R&D.
Is the vice president of R&D at this location?
So she ordered to hit on you?
Well, long story short, she walked up to me and after they gunned down to everybody else around me. Thanked me for leading them to the American
People's Liberation Front of Palace.
and then told them to kill me. Yes.
So do you want to sneak in after hours and poop on her desk or what?
Hey, if she doesn't know I don't even know if she knows I'm not dead yet. So I'd like to keep it that way.
You're right. Leave somebody else's poop on her desk.
Well, is there a scientific test for poop? Because I know there's not one for vomit.
What do you think? Wait, no. What do you think Kieran does all day?
I work with bacteria. I very rarely have to deal with
You Yeah, well, you do E. coli genetic research. I'm sure with your skill set, you could figure it out.
Moving on.
Mm,
Moving
on. Yeah.
on. We're moving on. Okay. So, what are you gonna do?
So and I was like, oh yeah, and there's a bunch of labs in there of all sorts of different types. It really is a very busy, nice facility in there.
Oh, it's cutting edge stuff. The equipment in
Yeah.
there alone costs more than your annual salary.
That's,
Well, I guess that's the
I know
norm,
pieces
though,
of
but
equipment.
still.
I know individual pieces of equipment that cost more than my annual salary.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So that's a stupid thing to say. Never mind. But it's cutting edge stuff.
Like
It
that.
costs more than the CEO's annual salary.
It's
yeah.
cutting edge stuff. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay. So yeah, they're connected, definitely. Not sure how,
All
but beyond the
Nothing like otherworldly, weird, or out of the ordinary.
Not that she saw.
Yeah. I told you what I see is like, there seems to be normal research. I don't know enough. I didn't stand there long enough to watch what they were doing.
All right, well, let's see what I can find out. Brandon, do they have wireless?
Yes. Everybody's got wireless.
Well, let's see if I can work my way into their system.
Wow. You're doing this out of... I was picturing you would do this at some point, but I assumed you'd be in front of a computer while the clock is ticking and people are searching for you and there's tension and at some point you say, I'm in. And then you start pulling a... But no, you're in the parking lot just, you stopped at Starbucks on the way... You stopped... You went through a drive-through Starbucks on the way here, so you're just like...
Yes.
Tap, 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 tap. Oh, let me get my scone.
Really
My blueberry scone. You're typing.
You're not under a lot of pressure. Yeah.
This is how it normally happens. Yes, probably.
You would be surprised how many hacks I did from an ATM back in the day.
I'm sure I would.
Remember when ATMs had a phone beside them that you could pick up for calls for technical support?
No, I don't, but I'll take your word for it. I've never really been one to use ATMs. I don't trust ATM cards because there's no protection like there is for a credit card. Anyway.
Okay, well, back in the 80s, you used to be able to pick up that phone, and what it would do is auto-dial tech support. So if you interrupted the call and then could introduce your own dialing tones, you could make it call wherever you wanted.
Oh, fracking. I've read about it, but haven't done it. Okay, so.
Frequency observation. That was my specialty back when I was a hacker. So,
making some rolls.
That's what I grew up doing.
That is what John Morgan is making rolls.
A 9 for engineering.
Yeah, that gets you in. I mean, that's what you're doing, right? So
yes.
You use some kind of script thing that cracks Web2 encryption, and you get the password to log in, and you connect to their wireless network, and bing, now you're in. And there's a tense moment, because there has to be, because I insist. There's a tense moment. John Morgan says, I'm in. Or you can say it, if you like.
No, you do it much better than I do.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Well, I'm gratified you give me that. All right, so. Okay, so there's literally, let's say around 60 different separate IP addresses on their network. It will take you a while if you just go one by one and look at what you can find. What are you looking for?
Good question. Look around at the other two. So what am I looking for? I'll start setting up like keyword searches.
Hey, Grace.
I don't know. My interest in the cat was his niece's car.
Because that's reasonable. Okay.
Well, now that I know that she's there, I'm just wondering what they really are getting up to.
Hey, a mechanic chick with a 22 Pierce. I'm going to be interested. What?
I don't know what you just said, Donald. Something about 22 piercings? What?
No, he's talking about that car.
Oh, the Pierce Arrow. Okay. Well, sorry. Yes, of course. That makes much more sense than what I thought. All right. um. Oh, as a suggestion, maybe look for files that, since Charlotte knows that Cynthia Marlborough is a person of malevolent interest, maybe look for files that have been accessed by Cynthia Marlborough.
There we go.
Good idea. See if I can find any files that have our names in them.
All right, cool. Well, I guess the thing to be would to find what IP address she normally connects from, and then see what network traffic, using network tools, what network traffic comes and goes from that IP address, and then you can kind of find what she's been up to. Sound reasonable?
Yes.
Awesome. Roll some dice. All of that is relatively mainstream stuff, so you don't have to roll crazy high to do it.
10.
Yeah, that's plenty fine. Yeah, you find out what her IP address, where she usually logs in at. You like.
I love my gaming group that and genetic engineering is mainstream stuff.
Well, if that's what you do for a living, doing that.
I was doing stuff like this today at work with an application called Landsweeper. It's really simple stuff.
Yeah.
It does it all for you.
There's Wireshark
Exactly,
and looking
that
at
is-
logs. It's if that's what you do, that is the sort of thing that you do.
And that is 100% my point, as a mechanic.
Well, there are things that mechanics do, and when it comes around the time to do them, that's just what they do. Okay, so you find the IP address she normally logs in from, and then you find out other IP addresses she logs in from. She actually apparently logs in from about a half dozen machines, but 19 times out of 20, it's from this one IP address. The other 20 times, it's one of these other 5 that you figure must be workstations throughout the lab facility or whatever. Yeah, so you find, so from that IP address, where does she go? And she logs into this machine, that machine, that machine, and then you start looking for her paper trail of documents she's accessed and files she's accessed. And most of those, by most I mean like a vast majority, like 70, 80%, are on a couple of IP addresses. And when you start looking at what's on those machines and what runs on those machines and what most recently accessed files are on those machines, because those are the kinds of things you can search for, you find the same code or product name coming up over and over, and it's Echo 112. So that appears to be like a code name for a product or a project. And that's what I'll give you for the roll you just made.
Okay. See if she's got like a file share or a personal folder that she keeps stuff in.
Well, it comes on the workstation by default, so there is one. But when you start trying to go into it, you run into an unusual amount of encryption. And it's like there's like the normal there's like vanilla encrypt your hard drive, Windows 10 encryption, that kind of stuff. You can get into that. Worst case scenario, 15 minutes if you've got a lot of time.
Right.
But this is not that. And then there's like one step above that. There's like the companies that sell like military grade encryption, which is not in fact military. It's what military grade encryption was like 30 years ago. And then
512-bit encryption.
And that may take you like half a day to crack through that on an average day. On a good day, half that. On a bad day, a week. And by the way that sort of thing works, if you keep trying for a week, they'll find you before you crack it. So there's like a point of diminishing returns on that kind of thing. And I'm basing this on your previous activities as a chaotic hacker. So what she's got is one, maybe two steps above that.
That was like a really bizarre perspective shift, because it was Brendan talking, and then suddenly he looked surprised and turned to his right. And for some reason, at that point, the picture switched to Karen with a cookie in her mouth. And I'm like, what the hell? Like
Susan
Brendan
says,
was very surprised by the fact that Karen had a cookie.
that's pretty
Yes,
funny.
you will be amazed in like 4 gaming sessions as to how important that cookie actually was.
Apparently so. Yeah.
Well, Susan and Vixen both say goodnight.
Good night, Susan. And Vixen.
Good night, Susan. Good night, Vixen.
Good night, Susan.
So whatever's on her workstation is 2 levels higher than that. Now it could be that that's simply the standard here. It's a
Yeah.
small company. Maybe they just have a hard-on for encryption. You haven't looked at everybody else's encryption to see what theirs is like. So maybe it's just the way it is here.
Okay,
Read
if
it.
I can't read it immediately, can I copy it?
Maybe.
Well, I will give it a shot. What's the worst that'll happen?
Roll some dice. Let's see what happens. What's the worst that could happen?
11.
Let's see. What would this be considered? Operate advanced technology. Copying? Yeah, that sounds fine. Sure, yeah. You're not sure what you're copying, but you copy about, I don't know, like about 800 gigs worth of file. Something.
Holy crap. This woman has every single Star Trek episode that was ever made.
And they're all encrypted.
And they're all encrypted.
No one will steal my files.
Wait. If they're all encrypted, are you sure they're not Babylon 5?
No, there wasn't that much Babylon 5 made.
All right. It takes you, let's see, 800 gigs, wireless network. It's a good wireless network. Let's say it takes you like 20 minutes to download all this stuff while you're
Right.
in the parking lot. Let's see if their anti-intrusion technology notices that you're doing this. Are you noticed? That's a good question. So, 20 minutes later, you're done. You've downloaded it all. Now what? And you,
All right, well,
because in your satchel of hacker doodads, you have fortunately for you, a 8 terabyte USB drive that Newegg had a sale on week before last, which they actually did, which is pretty awesome. So it's like $200. It's awesome. No, did I say gig? I meant terabytes. 8 terabytes. External USB hard drive for like $200. Can you imagine? Can you imagine going back to the mid-90s with that? What would that be worth? Oh my God. Anyway, so you downloaded it. It's all fine.
my first flash drive was 16 megabytes.
No kidding.
I am remembering the best deal on data I ever made was back in 1988 when I bought a 10 gig hard drive or a 10 meg hard drive for $10 and $1 of.
All right,
Okay.
so while it's downloading, just keep looking around on their server, on their file shares, and see what else is
The first thing that becomes abundantly obvious to you is that no one else's workstation has encryption like this. No one.
really.
In fact, you eventually find Kermit Lawyer's workstation.
Oh yeah.
He's not in the office right now, but he has a workstation. He has an office. He's actually, well, he's probably in the actual office in downtown Philadelphia, but he's got an office here as well, and he does not have this crazy encryption on his machine. So you find that out right off the bat. Continue.
Okay. Oh, and while I'm there, download a broken ransomware virus into their system. Intentionally broken.
What do you mean by that? Like something that malware, anti-malware will find, is known to find?
We'll eventually find, and it won't do anything. But it looks like it was probably something that came in out of the wild. I want to do
Oh.
that in case somebody notices the intrusion, they'll immediately assume that it was the bad malware that's on their network.
Wow. Okay. Well, what you do is you go through and you look through the IP addresses that Cynthia Marlborough has contacted. And on one of those machines, you look for something that doesn't belong there. And you eventually find it. You find an episode of Game of Thrones on one of those machines. And you download into the same directory where that Game of Thrones MP4 is. You download your broken malware into that.
Yep.
And that should take care of that because there's a paper trail of IP addresses. You know they connected, et cetera, et cetera.
All right,
And then that person's probably going to be fired.
look
Do you,
upon it
do
as
you
an
mind?
opportunity.
Does it make you feel bad?
No, not at all. Like I said, they should look upon it as an opportunity. They were getting stagnant at this time.
Obviously, they had time to download the game. Well, no, I can't say that because I personally knew somebody who used to do all their illegal downloads on their lab computer.
Never
Yeah, I mean,
download
really,
stuff at work. Never download
serious-
stuff at work.
Seriously, use Starbucks for that, like any reasonable.
Oh my god.
It's
Never
like, in this
download
day
stuff
and
at
age,
work.
use your phone for that. Jeez.
Oh my goodness. Oh god. The data costs
I'm the
are
only person who
insane.
caught him.
Man. Susan's data costs. Well, I shouldn't say. I won't say because I don't want to get her in trouble. But her phone data costs the last couple of months have gone up by like $10 a month each month.
Oh,
So,
She might want to look into that new unlimited plan.
Yeah.
well, we have Google Fi, Project Fi. So, data's not the base phone is super cheap and the data's, it's reasonable. It's just like, why are you using so much data? Anyway, she's like, yeah, I'm bored. All right, fine. Anyway,
We'll hook up to Wi-Fi's more often.
you would think, but she doesn't want to do that at work because that's the same thing as downloading something at work, which she doesn't want to do. So there you go.
I can recommend some really interesting games that'll keep her busy for a long time.
Feel free to do that. Okay, so 20 minutes goes by. You plant your virus on some random, and it may just be a lab workstation, which case they can't pin it down to one person, which means they might not narrow it down to one person. They'll have to go look at their personal workstations, and if their personal workstations have illicit stuff they downloaded, then that person will probably be fired. And at that point, it's really their own fault, isn't it? Okay, so moving on.
Actually, unless they put it in a program file, as a government employee, I have to have my own. I have my own login, and everything goes under my own login.
Oh, man, poking holes in my plausible deniability. All right, yeah, somebody's gonna get fired.
No,
That's just the way it is. They're just gonna get fired. But ultimately, really, did they want to work for the world domination conspiracy thing? No. They should go work for Greenpeace or the Coast Guard or something. Meanwhile,
Navy.
20 minutes go by. You have your files. You've planted your Trojan horse, as it were.
And then
Now
get
what?
the hell out of there.
You're not even going to go in. You're not even going to look around and see what they're doing.
I
Wow.
already
Okay.
did that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Charlotte already did that. So.
Okay. Wow. Now, where do you go now? Actually, we've lost Donald.
What have you done with him?
Oh,
there
here
he
comes it. Well, this is important because it's dramatic. So, you're done doing everything. Weird question. And this is because John Morgan is, and I wouldn't normally put this in your brain, but John Morgan is of the paranoid persuasion.
Yeah.
You've just downloaded tons of illicit material. Normally, what do you do with that once you've got it in your possession? You have one copy.
GTFO.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Guess I'm gonna have to make a copy of it.
Like how?
Well, if it's a solid state drive, I'll just ghost the drive onto another drive.
Okay. Well, you're doing that physically, so that's relatively quick. While that's happening, and John tells Mark, I guess, that you're ready to get the hell out, and Charlotte's back in her body, and she's all relaxed, and you got this open etheric trap, which I suppose you'll examine at some point.
Yes.
None of you are really electronics whizzes, but between you and Charlotte, I'm sure you can figure it out. Oh, excuse me. You know, the peppermint really isn't very pepperminty. I can kind
No,
of.
it's not. I found the whole series to be chocolatey, or to be really coffee oriented, which is a shame because they've got one. I think it's their stout is really lovely chocolatey flavor.
I do like the chocolate stouts.
The Commodore. The Commodore has this really nice dark chocolate. It's almost like a dark chocolate and lime or dark chocolate lemon kind of thing going on.
Not a fan of
Really
citrus and chocolate.
enjoyable.
Okay.
No,
So,
really,
anyway.
really light because it's a dark chocolate, so it's a really bitter kind
It's
of
less-
chocolatey.
The data
But
that John
anyway, yeah.
has is less than a terabyte. So you can get a thing that is literally the size of a thumb drive and put it on that. Because you can get a terabyte, USB thumb drive. It's like a tiny little thing. In fact, you can actually get something the size of an SD card that is a terabyte nowadays. It's amazing the age we live in.
Yeah.
While John's doing that, several large flat black Humvees, and they're not actually Humvees, they're some other brand, but it doesn't matter. But we're just going to say Humvees. So several large black Humvees pull into the parking lot and park on either side of you and behind you. And gentlemen dressed
No, we'd be gone by then.
No.
Get
You
away
were
the driveway.
you were not gone by then. This happens. So
Oh, damn.
these guys who are dressed like this, and they could be men, could be women, hard to say because it's not fantasy armor, it's actual I'm going to kill you armor. So it doesn't have boobs. So there are like 9 of these get out of those vehicles and aim their scary weapons at Mark's very nice European car.
This is the rental.
Oh, sorry. And aim it at Mark's Toyota
Camry.
Camry. I was trying to remember what replaced the anyway, Camry, yeah.
First reaction is to floor it, glance off of their fender, squish who's ever coming out of that door if they're that unlucky, and try and get away.
Is that really what you want to do? Because they are aiming guns at you, and there are 9 of them, and your car is
No,
not.
like while their vehicles are still in motion. Like as their vehicles are stopping, I am releasing the brake and hitting
here's the deal.
throttle.
I don't
They're
want to just.
climbing out, and I'm trying to crash my car into theirs.
So I'll describe the situation just to make sure we're all clear on what's going on. There's the building here, right? And it goes up like that. You see on the picture? See? So this is the front of the wall. We're looking at it from outer space. We're looking down, right? So your car parked right here. There's a sidewalk, and your car parked right here. And there's like parking spaces.
Parked facing the street, of course. That's a no-brainer. They even teach that in EVOC.
Oh, so you're parked facing out. You back into the space.
Absolutely. There is absolutely no reason to pull face in.
I'm okay with that. Thank you for telling me. So here we have glass.
101, you don't block your own way out.
Okay, I'm cool with it. Thank you for telling me. So we got glass door and like large glass window, both of which you cannot see through because there's something on the inside that prevents it. Okay, so you backed in. There are empty spaces on either side. Okay, so what happens is you're here, and big ass Humvee goes and stops in front of your car. Then another Humvee comes around that one and stops on this side. Another Humvee comes around that one, stops on this side. They are not backing in. They are pulling straight in toward the building.
facing the building.
So the
Okay.
very first thing that happens is that Humvee comes in front of your car and
You
stops
know-
like that. What do you do?
Very first thing is that a Humvee comes into the parking lot. I am a trained getaway driver. While we are
You
busting
are.
into something.
You are. It's true.
While we are busting into something.
However, you've been here for like a half. Wait.
A
what?
Humvee comes into the parking lot. I'm
Yes.
throwing this thing into gear.
Yes, but keep in mind, you've been here for like a half an hour. You're in an industrial park.
The
A car comes in, it goes by. A car goes out, it goes by.
The second Humvee comes in,
Roll some dice.
I am releasing the
roll some
brake and
dice.
hitting the throttle.
Roll 2 dice and getaway
Yes.
driver, and let's see what happens. You make a good point.
Okay.
You're making a good point. What do you got?
8.
Total?
All of my good rolls. Yeah, unfortunately, all of my good rolls were earlier.
Well, let's see what Humvee driver got. Because let's say, for sake of argument, he's got 2 in Humvee driver.
Okay, because I'm thinking the job of the getaway driver is to get away no matter what comes. I'm not going to be stuck in a chump trap like that. That's just stupid.
It is a chump trap, and the guy coming
I
in
would
rolled
not
a
be stuck in
total.
a chump trap.
The guy coming in rolled a total of 10, and I swear to God, hang on, I'll even show you. I told you it had 2, and it's not like I'm cheating or anything. Hang on, where is it?
So a 10 and a 10, so it goes to me.
No, I thought you said you had 8.
I rolled a...
Say it one more time.
No, I've got a 7 showing on my screen. Why did I say 8?
I thought you said 8. What do you actually have? Total. What's your total?
Hold on. I don't know why I said 8. I'm looking through my...
Just tell me what
Okay,
your
I
total
have a
is.
I have a 7 on the screen.
Is that including your getaway driver?
Yeah, no. Plus my getaway driver.
Okay,
I'm
what's your
sorry.
total? Tell me your total.
10. 10.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I was looking at a previous roll.
okay, so, just so we're clear,
I'm trying to do 2 different computers here, and I'm getting confused because I got music going on in the background.
I totally sympathize. So, your total is
She said 10.
10. As it happens, the Humvee driver coming in front of you also rolled a total of 10. And because I'm phrasing it that you have to beat him, you meet or exceed him, because you're kind of like attacking in a weird way, you actually win. So there you go. Humvee comes in. You do pretty much what you just described. You floor it. You bang into his front left fender. You tear the living hell out of the Toyota Camry.
You're not getting your deposit back.
You are not getting your deposit back. And
I got the extra insurance.
Oh, good. Of course you did.
Beats the alternative.
so, yeah. Thank goodness Dwayne Simpson paid for the extra insurance. So, you bang off of that. Unfortunately, there are 2 other Humvees who also want to block you in. And we're going to roll some more dice. You get a 10. What do they get? I'm going to roll twice. If they both roll 10 or less, you just get straight away, and I screw what I had in mind. You're just going to get away. Oh, man, that's close. Okay, one guy is behind you, and you know that that guy is driving a Humvee, and there's no way he's ever going to catch you because he's behind you. I mean, once he's actually legitimately behind you, you can drive through a mall, you know? You can drive through Disneyland, and you know that as long as he's behind you once, you can keep him behind you because of, doing this kind of thing. So you're golden on that guy. Unfortunately, you're bouncing off the fender of the one in front of you, and you turn left, and you're going to cut right, but the one that was going to pull around and block you in on the left, he blocks you in on that side. So you wind up having to turn left to get ahead of him. So You guys are like neck and neck. He rolled a total of 11. This close. This close. So, let's roll some more dice. Can Mark get away? Oh, while Mark is driving, Charlotte and John, well, John's still copying drives. By this time, you've lost the wireless connection to that place. But you're copying drives, so it doesn't matter. Are you guys doing something? Because you're getting da 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 da. Hang on, I can't do it while I can hear myself. Ba 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 ba. There you go. Star Trek sound. I can't do it while I can hear it. I can talk while I can hear myself, but I can't carry a tune.
I totally understand.
So while that's happening, what are you guys doing? Charlotte first, sure, why not? Doesn't smell bad, just doesn't smell like peppermint.
Like I say, if I liked coffee, I'd probably enjoy those a lot more. I just much prefer a chocolate stout. I think that peppermint would go better with a chocolate stout.
Oh, are they shooting at you? Let me roll it. Anything less than... Oh! A couple of rifle rounds hit the car in the back. You can hear it, but you don't know if it hit anything important. So, Charlotte, what are you going to do?
Pop a tire. See if I make a tire explode.
On the one Humvee that's like neck and neck with you?
Yeah. Concentrate on one of the tires and...
Spend a weird pool point.
All right.
And roll some dice.
I rolled 8 plus 4, that's 12.
Oh, that is more than enough. Charlotte, who, because you were sitting next to Sarah Boyd in the back seat.
I would have been in the back seat then, yeah.
Yeah, so you're looking back, and you like, you're like doing Mitchy stuff. And which one? Pick a tire.
Would the rear ones do better or the front 4 ones?
Steering wise, taking out a front tire is worse.
Okay, front ones.
Unless they're currently turning, at which point taking out a rear tire on the side that is... How's that work? G. Gordon Liddy told me once. Is it this one?
I'll take out a front tire.
If they're turning, taking out the back rear on the outside, because that'll make the car flip.
Oh.
That's what...
Yeah, outside rear will cause the tire to fold under, and it'll cause the back end of the car to rotate, which will bring the front end with it.
Yeah.
Okay,
otherwise, taking out a front tire will cause it so that when you turn in, the car will just not turn and just keep pushing straight until it gets.
But since at this moment you're going relatively straight, so I would say a front tire.
All right, front tire.
Yeah, one of them. Pick one.
Make them low. The one on the opposite side. So yeah.
That would make it drift to that side. Awesome.
I was going to say the one that makes it not run over us.
Yes.
Good choice. Roll some dice.
I didn't.
Oh, you did. Oh, you rolled fantastic. I'm sorry. Yes, you already rolled. You rolled fantastic. The tire it doesn't just pop. It grenades. Like little pieces of rubber fly in every direction. And it
deforms the wheel.
Like normally when you have a flat or something, it kind of goes flat and kind of goes flop, 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 flop. No, it doesn't do that. All the rubber just goes and it's on a rim, and the whole Humvee goes and skids off to the right and runs into a Honda Accord. Gunch. So, well, disappointing, but to me as a GM, because I wanted to have a bad guy come and have a monologue with you. But yeah, that Humvee is out of the action for now. So unfortunately, Mark Savage, you were actually driving away from the exit of the industrial park. Oh, John Morgan, are you still just copying files? You want to do something fun? No, I don't know what you can do, but if you want to.
I'm drawing a blank here myself, so.
All right then, put a pin in it. And Mark Savage, you are actually driving away from because there's like an entrance and then like parking lot and then warehouses. You're actually driving away from the entrance. Now what? And there are 2 Humvees behind you.
Okay, Mother, I need an
Mother, you need an exit.
Am I supposed to understand something from that other than just your hope, or what?
Whoever's got the eye in the sky here, I need an exit.
You're not in the Matrix, so there's not going to magically open up like a wall in the hedge in front of you.
That has yet to be proven with Lloyd's character around, so I'm going to put my trust in Hope.
You know, you make a good point.
Let's see what I can find.
You're driving away from the entrance. There are 2 Humvees behind you, and you can either go left around this block of buildings, which will eventually take you back to the exit, like in a around and back sort of way, or you can turn right, and that'll again take you around those buildings, and then around the back of them toward the exit. So it's basically left or right. It's like a potato kind of choice at this point, because you don't know what those buildings are. Although you do know the place you came to observe, Fort Dodge Laboratories, that would be on your left, if it matters.
Call up an overhead view of the building and surrounding area and see what's on the other side of the hedge.
Oh! Well, that's actually very easy to do, so I'm not going to make you roll. Working. Okay. What's on the other side? Another off spark. It's down about 6 feet from where you are. So there's like your parking lot and like about 10 feet of trees, and then down about 6 feet, and then another parking lot with another office park. Like that. So you got 10 feet of trees and 6 feet down.
If you think you can take this thing through 10 feet of like woods, then I'd recommend going that way. Otherwise, you better keep it on the pavement.
I look at the woods. What do I think?
It's not old forest. It's small stuff. It's probably not anything bigger than my arm. It might be enough to stop a Toyota Camry.
Okay.
But they're not like, it's not like right next to each other. It's just like tree and underbrush and tree and underbrush and tree and underbrush.
Okay, using my specialty of losing a tail,
All right.
I'm going to make it look like I'm going to fake left and go right, or fake right and go left.
All right.
But I'm actually going straight on through the thinnest point that's not going to land me on top of somebody else's car when we hit the next parking lot.
You won't know that until the split second before you come out of the trees. And at that point, it's kind of too late.
Then I kind of don't want to do that, do I?
I don't know. What do you want to do? It's up to you. You're taking a risk any way you go. Oh, Charlotte. Because I have to use this guy. Because I spent time finding him, so I have to use him. Hang on, let me find him. Oh, here we go. Charlotte, one of the Humvees following you has this guy in the front seat. Wait, what? No, that's not what I want. There we go. This guy is in the front seat, and he's gesticulating and pointing toward your car and yelling at the driver. The driver looks like one of those armored yahoos who looks like, half stormtrooper, half robot, But this guy looks just like this. He's got a hat, he's got a tie, he's got a coat.
And he's got that face, expression on his face.
And he's got that face. He does not look happy.
Well, gee, imagine that.
Somebody ruined his awesome plan. I don't know who. Not gonna name names.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if my character is competent at his former
Apparently,
occupation.
somebody has a specialty in getaway driver.
What was my first thing when you said that the file was downloaded was GTFO?
Yeah, GTFO.
It's almost like you don't want to be captured.
I'm hitting the throttle.
Do you not want to be captured? Is that your problem? Do you not know that being captured is the first step in finding out the villain's plan? It's like you've never been a secret agent before. Anyway, so you cut right, you cut left, and then what? Do you actually go left, or do you plow through the trees?
Let's start by going left and see if I can lose one of them the easy way.
Roll some dice, and let's see if you can lose one the easy way. Oh,
An 8 plus 3 plus it's one of my specialties.
the specialties don't actually give you anything. They're just examples of what you can do.
Okay.
Well, 8 plus 3 is 11. Both of these drivers, well, one got a total of 4, and the other one got a total of 8. So we're going to say this. One Humvee just plows straight ahead through the trees. Because he thought you were just going to go straight. The other guy saw you cut to the right, and he thought, aha, he's cutting to the right. So that guy cut to the right. But then you cut to the left again. But this guy's driving a fucking Humvee. So he had to keep going right. So that guy's going right. So as you look in your rearview mirror, as you drive left, you see one Humvee go dish, 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 dish through the trees. And you see another Humvee behind you trying to do a bootlegger reverse, but it's a Humvee. So that doesn't actually work.
Wheelbase is about 600 feet wide. Yeah.
It's like 10 feet wide and 20 feet long. You're basically driving a cargo barge. So that guy stops, and he's doing this to try to turn around and come back at you. Where are you going?
To the exit, man.
Yeah. I am headed to the exit with all due haste because I realized by making this turn I have put myself farther from the exit than they are. So I will cut across parking lots if that is feasible. I will use every trick in the book to get to the exit before they do.
Geographically, you are actually at this moment in time the same distance from the exit as the one that turned right. You are actually further away from the exit than the Humvee that lacks a tire, but its maneuverability is limited. The Humvee that went into the trees, you were actually closer to an exit. Its exit would be the exit from that parking lot, which is so it's slightly farther away from its exit than your exit. So
provided it survived the passage through the trees.
Oh yeah, it is a Humvee, so it has some advantage.
But
they rolled really well. They rolled really well.
Yeah, but I was gonna say there could be like a 24-foot box delivery truck right on the other side of those trees parked, which is why I didn't go through the trees.
Well, no, it's just a parking lot. So, I mean, if there's a car there, it bounces off it and keeps going. So
Yeah, but there's always a chance that there's a large piece of equipment in the back of a parking lot.
There's always a chance, but it really depends less on arbitrary stuff like that and what you actually roll. It's less. So if you rolled really badly, it would be because there was a cargo truck. It's not like I'm going to put a cargo truck and then say, oh, you rolled 17. Well, fuck you. You hit a cargo truck anyway. No, it's whatever you roll.
No. That is exactly what I meant. I think we were just using reverse languages.
Okay. You need to roll against the other two Humvees because they are still trying to cut you off, even though they are not next to you at this moment in time. They will see you again because they know where you're going. You're going to the exit.
There's only one place to go, and that's the exit.
There's really only one exit from this particular section of Industrial Park.
A 6 and a 5 is an 11, plus my 3 is a 14.
Holy moly. Fuzza, muzza, kaza. Okay. 1 by 1. You won, W-O-N, by 1, O-N-E, 1. And I really did want to capture you, in case it's not clear. I really did. Pretty cat.
Yeah.
Almost in terms of the point, it actually kind of sounded like it would have but,
Oh, Gracie kitten, sweetie pie.
As you
See,
roar.
she knows my voice. She knows my voice and she is annoyed by it. That cat knows me so well.
As you roar toward the exit. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong picture. But there we go. As you roar toward the exit of this particular section of the office park, you narrowly, very narrowly miss the Humvee that turned right and is racing for the same exit you are, and at this point is technically closer to that exit than you are. But it's a Humvee, so you're, I guess, driving a Toyota Camry has its advantages. You skid around, you do the drift left, you go roaring or buzzing toward the exit, and the Humvee just narrowly misses T-boning you as you miss, as it misses you.
Hi.
It goes zoom right past your back bumper. It like smashes a taillight as it goes past you, roaring from your, at this point it's your left to right. So it's coming from your left to right, and it just goes past you. But you get out to the main road, and this guy is in the Humvee, and he's looking at you, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm going to get you. But not today. So, and
Okay, so
yeah.
if he's roaring by from left to right,
He's
I'm
going
taking
like a
left.
bat out of hell from left to right. That Humvee's, they don't stop on a dime. It's a locomotive. So he's going from left to right, took out one of your taillights, and is going to be going that way for a while, even though they started
Yeah.
stepping on the brake now. It's going to be it's going to be for a while. So where are you going?
I'm totally e-braking it the other direction.
All right, you lose him because just that amount of misdirection is enough to lose him. So where are you going? After a while, let me put this differently. You're in outskirts of wait.
Okay.
You're in the outskirts of Philadelphia, not rural exactly, more like what's it called? Suburban. Suburban Philadelphia, which is intermittent with, it's weird because it'll be like suburbia, lots and lots of houses, then trees, then industrial park. And as it goes around, the eastern side of it is actually the border with New Jersey. And once you cross the border to New Jersey, it's all like
Camden.
Industrial toxic wasteland. It's like huge white circular buildings that house who the fuck knows. It's just nasty industrial wasteland once you hit New Jersey. And then
I actually have a shorthand word for that exact scenario you're talking about.
what is that?
I call it Camden.
I don't know what that means.
The name of the
Camden-
New Jersey city.
Camden, New Jersey. It's the town in New Jersey that is just across the bridge from Philadelphia.
That's funny. Well, the weird thing
If you've
is
never
that
been
if
there,
you turn,
you have exactly described Camden.
yeah, the weird thing is once you get a little bit out of Philadelphia, you get like crazy.
Wait.
It's like Central Virginia. It's just like 100 miles of trees and
The
and
only thing you left out was
cemeteries
the
with
smell.
headstones so old you can't read them anymore. It's weird, the juxtaposition. So
Yeah, straight on down to the Delaware line too.
yeah.
But no, the truth of the matter is that the only thing you forgot about Camden is the smell. Imagine a paper plant next to a brick kiln, and you are approaching the smell of Camden, New Jersey.
Moving on. Where are you going?
Well, we gotta go pick up we gotta return this poor car back to the poor rental company.
Do you really?
Well, I'm not, and my motorcycle's back there, and we're not leaving my motorcycle.
Your motorcycle
I
is
thought-
at the airport parking lot.
I thought we were going to abandon the car. I thought we were going to abandon the car somewhere nearish the parking lot, jump in our vehicles, get out of there, and see how good his fake IDs were.
Yes.
What are you saying, Lloyd?
I said just basically what Donald just said is abandon the car
Abandon the car.
in the airport parking lot.
Yes, but it didn't. But I was in a bawling mess and had to deal with a ghost in the backseat of a car. So my motorcycle's back even further.
Yeah, probably at the hotel. Probably back near the hotel.
I thought it was at the. Oh, that's right. You were brawling about the ghost. Yeah. So your motorcycle's in a pay lot in downtown Philadelphia. All right, great. So you abandon the car near the airport, walk to the parking lot, get Mark's car. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Pile in Mark's car, drive to downtown Philadelphia, pick up Charlotte's motorcycle, which is like an Indian or something, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's like a tough motorcycle, right? It's not like a Kawasaki Ninja, right?
It's a medium sized. It's no wimpy thing. It's not a. I mean, it probably still is a rice rocket, but it is a medium sized.
Hang on.
Yeah, then again, my pirate bike is technically a rice rocket.
Give me a minute. Give me a
totally
minute.
is a rice rocket. Like I said, medium sized. It can still be a rice rocket and be medium sized. I don't want a giant bike. Can't really maneuver those monsters. Those things.
Okay, so are your feet ahead of, even with, or behind your hips when you sit on it? Because honestly, that's the three things that matter in motorcycles.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't ride a motorcycle with my feet in front of me. Those are cruiser bikes. No. That has to be under or beneath, under you. Usually, most of the ones I know are under you.
Okay, so either supermoto or sport bike range.
Yeah. Underneath you is usually what I've seen in my dad's.
Yeah, that's UJM. That's what I ride. It's because your dad and I both have good taste.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah.
Actually,
Behind you is bad ergonomically. In front of you is a wimp of a bike.
Well, in front of you is for old men with bad sciatica who can't get off the lazy boy.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my God! Seriously? You're gonna go there?
You might as well be driving a trike.
Oh my God!
Exactly. Behind you is all that forward set stuff, which is great if you're an athlete. It's great for athletic. It's quick handling, nimble. It's a great bike. But honestly, your best balance overall comes with your feet directly beneath your hips, which is why your dad and I both have. It's why dirt
hang
bikes
on,
are set
hang on.
that way. It's
This
why
is
UGMs are that way.
This is kind of what I pictured Charlotte driving.
This good posture is so important for people who ride motorcycles.
Long distance,
That's
it.
kind of what I pictured Charlotte driving.
What do you think of that one?
Feet way too far forward, you'd look like a skydiving starfish.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I mean, I think you had it right with Indian, if I remember correctly, an older Indian.
Oh my goodness! You people, I swear.
Come on, I grew up around this stuff.
Like a 40s, 50s.
Dude, you just
Yeah, like a 40s, 50s Indian too. Not like, because the moderns are all this skydiving starfish feet forwards. Jesse Ventura, or not Jesse Ventura. Who's that dude from
I don't even know what you're
Orange
talking
City.
about. There's basically
Jesse
two kinds of
James.
motorcycles. There's kinds where you sit on it like a human and you drive, or there's a kind where you're leaning way forward like you're some kind of wannabe motorcycle racer.
Yeah.
Those are the only two kinds.
Okay.
And then there's the
No,
kind
there's-
where your feet
there's-
are in front of you, like a lazy.
No, and then there's three other variations within that. What the old British bikes, your Nortons, your Brough Superiors.
That's what I showed you. I showed you
these are
a traditional, old school
No,
motorcycle.
No, that was way modern. That was a 2000s motorcycle.
That was
I'm
no.
talking
These are
like
like
a
your normal old school motorcycles.
No,
You're sitting there.
no,
You got you got your
not
handlebars.
even close.
You got an engine. This is it's just how it works. It's a motorcycle.
Not
No,
even
no.
close to
Yeah.
being a classic motorcycle.
Okay, these are more like your Goldwing kind of stuff.
Okay, if you want to
I meant like these. Well, all right, whatever. I'm not gonna go in this anymore. You guys don't know what you're talking about.
Where's that button
So.
again? Oh, here. Share screen. Oh. Share, and let's see if I can.
I'm embarrassed.
There we go.
Oh.
That's old school right there.
All right.
Okay, that's a good start.
Yeah,
That's a good start. I was actually a little bit
That's the
more
first thing
old
I
school
thought
than
about.
that.
Well, they don't make those like that anymore because
Yeah,
they're
they
not comfortable
do.
to ride.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do, and yeah, they are. It's just tough to find them. Right now, the 1 liter version of that would be the ZX10.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Charlotte gets her bike.
That's not exactly the bike I'm thinking.
It's okay. We can
Sorry,
move on. We
I
can deal
was
with it later.
actually I was actually bike shopping like 2 months ago, and I am a big fan of the mid set, which is a really rare thing these days. And so I happen to know all of the mid set bikes because I've just test ridden them.
Moving on. So,
Moving on. We lost Lloyd.
Charlotte's got her bike. You're around the airport. No, you're downtown.
Yeah.
Mark's got his car. Charlotte has her bike. You go around the downtown Philadelphia. What is your next deal? What are you doing?
All right. Good question. All right, where to next, boys?
We've lost Lloyd.
Yes, we did.
He got tired of listening to your completely wrong motorcycle opinions.
Gee, it's not like I grew up around this.
Well, what do you guys want to do? So
Yeah, sorry, I've only been riding them for 20 years.
okay. Here, let's hit some high points. Here, what I, as a GM, consider the high points of what are on your plate right now.
We've got that
One,
device.
you've got 800 gigabytes of encrypted data that John Morgan has, and he's got a spare on a flash drive. So there's that. You've got an address in London, which you have found out has a police cordon around it and has had for at least 30 years. So
That's kind of cool.
if nothing else, that lends an air of continuity to that, which could be good. You have somebody in a Humvee chasing you. If you hang around Philadelphia, chances are they'll show up again. Stands to reason. What do you want to do next?
I don't intend to stay in Philadelphia at this point, considering we just had 2 encounters. Actually, but I want to know where people want to go next. Cause
Oh, one more thing. You have not actually spoken to Kermit Laurier yet.
No, we haven't.
I don't know if you want to. I'm just pointing out that you haven't.
I don't know if it's important enough to yet, but I'm waiting for
No, Luke's back.
Donald to return now.
Donald's gone. Oh, wait, there's Donald. I see his elbow.
So,
Can't hear him, but that's okay.
So we've got lots of data to play with.
I generally mute myself, and I have like a 3-foot walking distance, so my headset's always on, so I'm always around.
All right.
I will
announce
if I take my headset off.
800 gigs of data from Cynthia Marlborough. You've got Kermit Laurier, who you have not yet spoken to. You have an address in London. You have, what was the other one?
We have the Ghostbuster box.
Oh, you have a Ghostbuster box. It's an etheric trap.
Yep. Which is a curiosity, but it's tainted and Anyways,
once Sarah Boyd was no longer in it, you get no readings or feelings from it at all. It's not like it even makes you like uncomfortable to be around. Once she's gone from it, it could be a toaster for all you care.
all right. So we have.
All right, so let's get the hell out of Dodge first.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
And where do you go other than Dodge?
Oh, Fort Dodge.
So you're not going to talk to Kermit Laurier because he is in Dodge.
He wasn't at that place, but he was at another one. But they might probably go to be like, oh wait, maybe we should check out there.
I had a whole speech ready and everything. Damn it.
I'm sorry. I had to get away. It's in the character description.
And you succeeded. Yes, I
Do
get
we
it.
wanna
I totally get it.
Do we want to talk to Kermit, guys?
I'm still trying to figure out why we'd want to. I mean, the only connection we have of it for him is he's the guy who owned the Pierce Arrow that Savage was so hot for.
Yeah. I was just curious to see if there was a connection, and the only connection I found so far is the fact that somebody works for him who tried to kill me or have me killed. That's about it.
My connection to the car is that Mercury or whatever her name is gave it to me. Gave me the photo. And it's a cool car.
Hermes.
Yeah, he knows. He just calls her Mercury
Wait.
or whatever to be like that.
Oh, wait. Back up one step. What did you say? Who gave you the picture?
Didn't she send us the picture?
When you mentioned the picture and the documents to Hermes, it appeared to you guys that that was the first time she had heard of them.
Hmm.
Yeah, we still don't know who actually sent that stuff to you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, I missed that part. Sorry.
It's
Somebody
completely
sent it.
reasonable. It
Yeah.
is completely reasonable for you guys to be in the car driving back to downtown Philadelphia to pick up Charlotte's bike, and you're thinking like, what are we going to do next, guys? And you're talking about it, and Mark realizes, wait a minute, Hermes didn't even know about that. You were just kind of assuming Hermes did all this time, but as you're talking about it, you realize, wait a minute, what? No, Hermes seemed to be news to Hermes when you said that.
That means the whole thing could end up being a trap to get us into exactly what we just escaped.
Okay, so
Boy, are we dumb.
I think it's time to move on from this thing. We have the data for you to play with, anyways, and this.
I got a lot of homework to do on that.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking we're done with Philly at this point because we need to get out of here. You guys, you have the choice of London. That did seem interesting. And other than that, it's like, okay, fine. I can always just there's always back to New York, although who knows at this point. I mean, because how are we going to get? I certainly don't want to buy a plane ticket on my account at this point. Look where I'm going! Woo! We lost Lloyd again.
Oh, did we?
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Sorry.
I was going to say, just because someone is out of eyesight doesn't mean they're out of ear here.
I know.
No. If you can't see them, they've ceased to exist.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were part ostrich.
There you go. That's how that works.
Yeah, well, I was ceasing to exist making iced tea.
A very good excuse.
Mark
Yeah.
Savage.
If you're going to cease to exist, iced tea's a good reason.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I guess that's so. Okay, Mark Savage, make your symbiote roll.
Uh-oh. An 8 plus the symbiote, which is a 3. So 11.
Okay. While you are driving on the way to get Charlotte's bike, wow, this has been a really long drive. But in fairness, it is, Philadelphia.
It's a long bridge. I will admit. It's from west. No, seriously, from the airport to there is a really long drive. I've done it.
While you're driving there, you pass like an alleyway or something, and you get this strong feeling that there is something to your left. And then you pass it, and then it passes.
Okay. And actually, it was a +4 because it's my symbiote, not one of my others. So
All right.
it was a 12. But okay, so
All you
I
needed
get
was
this
10.
strong feeling from my symbiote as somebody drives by.
No. As you drive past something.
Okay, I get a mile marker check. What is in this area?
It looks like just a normal semi-industrial, semi-residential, kind of crappy Philadelphia neighborhood. It's not South Street,
How,
but it's
how
around
about,
that part of town.
how about Toloid?
Do what?
So what now?
Whoa, that was weird. What's in this place? What's with this place?
What, back there? Hang on. I'll look it up. What's
It's
the address?
a shitty neighborhood. It's not South Street, because South Street is like, okay, let me put this in perspective. The last time,
I've driven through South Street with 12 white boys in a VW van again. It was interesting.
the last time I was on South Street in Philly was 30 years ago. So it was awesome at the time, but it was also kind of semi-touristy. It was like what happens to a really crappy neighborhood when tourists discover it. But if you get a couple of blocks away from that, that's where you were when Mark had that feeling. It is a
That's
couple
a
blocks.
really crappy neighborhood, even still.
It is a genuinely crappy neighborhood, and it is a couple of blocks away from like the touristy crappy neighborhood, which has oddly enough some like really cool shops in it, like tattoo artists
So,
and neon
Couple of
artists.
awesome, yeah, a couple of
Some couple-
awesome bars up around the corner
Yeah,
too.
yeah. But you are a good 3 blocks away from that, which means you are taking your life in your hands, or maybe you just live here, because that's how shitty neighborhoods are.
It's the backside of the strip mall, dude. Why?
Yeah.
Something ain't right. That's all I'm saying. Is that something ain't right here.
Well,
Well,
are
it's
you
not like any
continu-
of us have a healthy sense of self-preservation. Go check it out.
Are you are you continuing to drive, or are you stopping and going back? Simple question.
You're driving, dude.
With nothing but it raises all my hackles for a minute.
Okay, I was
There's no need to go poke the lion.
okay. I told you guys to go steal a box because I thought I saw a ghost.
It does put things in perspective.
Yeah, if this was like the symbiotes going, "Oh my God, it's home," I would have a different reaction.
It's not
but
on
it's
that
just,
level. It's sort of like
Sit down.
it's like you're super into comic books and you're driving through a strange town you've never been to, and you pass a comic book shop. You're going somewhere else, but you pass a comic book shop and it's the only one you've seen in this town. It's that kind of feeling, except it's coming from the symbiote.
Okay, natural paranoia is going to say, mark this place for later for me. But we're going to keep
Ew, I
going
made a mess.
because natural preservation, we are already wanted in this town. No need making it worse right now.
Fair enough. Well, once you pass a couple blocks, the feeling goes away. You find Charlotte's bike. Now what? Charlotte's got her bike. You get your car. Now,
Right,
you and John are in the front seat of the car. Charlotte's got her bike, which is some mutant ancient bike where you just kind of sit up like this. So, moving on.
so where are we going, guys? We got distracted by
Sorry.
anyway.
I'll need an internet connection.
I don't know. Either of you guys got a comfy couch?
I live in a tiny apartment, dude. I don't know about him.
What would
Yeah.
you say, Lloyd?
I said I'll need a decent internet connection in about 12 hours. The next thing I'm going to do. So as long as we are someplace that has those two things, I'm good.
Let's head back to New York. It's not that far from here.
Okay.
At least I don't have to keep paying. We don't have to keep paying for. Well, I don't personally have to keep paying for a hotel. You guys could probably, I can probably dig up an air mattress for you guys.
It's okay. I've got an apartment.
Yeah, you do. Is yours any bigger than mine?
It's a loft. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure we get one between the
It's not
two of us.
particularly
I'm sorry.
palatial, but it's got lots of room.
I'm sure between the two of us, we got a couch you can surf on.
Okay, because my house kind of exploded.
And those things don't travel well across the country, anyways.
No, houses are notorious for staying put. Mine was a bit of an exception, but now it is in way too many pieces.
Your house is moving a lot now. Some of it's drifting here, some of it's drifting there. Some of it has been scooped up off the sidewalk and is on its way to a landfill.
Like
So-
I say, way too many pieces.
You go from Philadelphia to where John Morgan has an apartment. You get
And-
there, you scope it out. I assume at this point your paranoia has kicked in.
Yes.
See my kitty cat's at the door.
Hmm.
Oh, she is. Come in, Vixen. Come
Hey,
on.
Vixen.
Come on. There she goes. Kitty. Yeah. Ignore the tools. Here you go. All right. So. Oh wow, it's like 10. Wait, how late do we play?
10:30.
10:30. Okay, good. I don't want to make Lloyd turn into a pumpkin. Yeah, you get back to John Morgan's place.
Speaking of that, 1:30 this morning, freaking fire alarm goes off.
Oh god.
Surprise!
Not fun.
Doesn't sound like it. You get to John Morgan's apartment, and I'm gonna give you some credit for some natural paranoia at this point, being that people. I don't know if they want to kill you exactly, but there are definitely people who consider you interesting. So, you circle the block a couple of times. You observe the neighborhood a couple of times. You take a look at like what cars are parked in places that can observe the entrance, that kind of deal.
I check the remotes for the burglar alarms. I turn the interior cameras on and look and see if there's anybody in the apartment. Yeah, stuff like that.
You have internal cameras in your apartment?
They're off most of the time, but yeah, when I'm coming back in, I can turn them on via remote, check,
All right.
and see, and then turn them off again.
Well, all right then. Everything, all indications, and I'm not making you roll because I'm not making you roll. Hang on a second. I got an almond in the wrong spot in my throat.
Happens with me with popcorn.
Yeah, that too. Anyway. Coffee and vanilla. That's pretty good. I would say it's pretty good.
Yeah, vanilla flavored coffee isn't bad.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm still hoping for like a sponsor or something.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
hasn't happened yet.
Well, contact them. You know? Maybe the guys who used to host the hotel or the con parties were sponsored by Captain Morgan's for a while.
You would, yeah, you know, I did Captain Morgan.
They called up Captain Morgan's and said, "Hey, by the way."
But no.
Yeah, no, Ballast Point has some really good stuff. They've got one of the better Scottish ales out there.
Oh, I like Scottish ale.
It's
So.
it's not
I might
quite
like it better
a
than
Brass
this.
Cannon. It's not quite like Brass Cannon's Wee Heavy, because that one's just fantastic. But it is a really nice Scottish ale.
You get to John Morgan's apartment. You are reasonably confident you are not being observed and that his apartment has not been, what's the word for it? Well, nobody's broken in and searched his shit. So, yeah, as far as John Morgan can tell, the last person who came in his apartment was him. And you don't see anybody watching it. Because
well,
they rolled really badly. So, yeah. There are many places they are looking for John Morgan. His apartment is not one of them.
They think we're
And-
still at Billy.
I just want to remember this moment because it's going There's going to be a time when you're going to think back to this and go, oh, that's what he meant.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, blithely go back to my apartment.
Oh, not blindly. I'm thinking you take like an hour and a half scoping it out.
Oh no, connecting to whatever it is that you're talking about. Yes, just wander back into my apartment after checking everything out. Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody will be there.
Yeah. Your aquarium is still running. The fish have a little automatic feeder on it because who has time to do that? And yeah, everything's fine. The package of sliced smoked turkey looks like it's close to going off, but other than that, everything's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let everybody in. It's like a big open plan, single room, slightly run down loft apartment. But
Very
it does have the advantage of having high ceilings and lots of room.
very
Does
nice.
it have lots of windows?
Yeah, it's like 4 of those really tall, like floor to ceiling style ones. I'm basing it on a rundown version of like the Tobacco Row apartments in Richmond.
Ah, yeah.
I was gonna
That's cool.
say, are they facing a brick wall 4 feet away through the alley?
No, they're facing the courtyard that all of them face onto, in the middle of the building.
Yeah. There's like some kind of fountain down there and some trees and a few concrete benches.
Yeah, this isn't Manhattan. It's one of it's like Bronx or Brooklyn or someplace like that.
Yeah. Like the courtyard itself is maybe, I don't know, the size of 4 houses, something like that. It's not like
Okay.
vast. It's not like a vast parkland.
No, it's the whole building is a single converted warehouse of some sort. But yeah, let everybody in and tell them to make themselves at home and start trying to crack this encryption.
Yeah. Oh, like the little courtyard used to be where the trucks would back into the loading docks or something like that.
Mhm.
But since it's apartments now, they tore that up. They tore the concrete up, put in dirt, planted some trees. Now it's a courtyard.
Maybe put a breezeway through where the trucks used to drive or something.
Maybe so. Okay, so John Morgan is cracking some encryption. What are you guys doing? Because I'm thinking you've got a couple of days of downtime.
I'm gonna
Making a sandwich.
That's gonna be a hell of a sandwich if you got take you a couple of days to make it.
It's big.
It's a great big sandwich.
It's enormous.
You're right.
Donald,
I'm sorry, this touchpad is like really sensitive and I'm trying to you're right. It won't take that long to do the sandwich. So instead I will not only do the sandwich, but also I will file insurance on my cabin cruiser.
Oh, interesting point. When you start looking into that and you start trying to file a report on that, you find that not only has the insurance claim already been filed, but that the check from the insurance claim has already been granted to you and is in your account. You have in your personal bank account around the we're gonna say like $300,000 as a settlement.
Okay,
from
I'm not
your
arguing.
boat from Nationwide. I like Nationwide. Let's say Nationwide.
I'm in good hands. Oh wait,
You-
no,
you
that's the
are.
other guy.
No, it's Nationwide.
no, Nationwide's on your side.
No, that's Allstate.
Oh, you're right. Nationwide is on your
It
side.
has to rhyme.
And you've got like $315,276 that was deposited into your personal bank account from Nationwide for your boat. About a week ago. Like
Alright, well-
3 days, 4 days after the explosion.
Makes my life easier. I will take that as an apology.
I'm gonna go check on my place and make sure and see if it's safe to approach.
Charlotte drives her bike over to her place. Make some rolls, Charlotte. Or just one roll, actually. And whatever would be the noticing things are not what they ought to be kind of
Oh,
aspect
I'm gonna go ahead and I would get I don't know. That would be a good question.
Pick one.
Pick one.
That would be a witchy sense, baby.
Could be what you said.
You know, I would. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
You don't need to spend a weird pool on it, but I think witchy sense would totally be like, is my home safe to go into? I mean, that seems like a totally useful, reasonable thing of witchy sense to use.
Yeah.
So yeah, add that if that's your highest thing.
Yes, it is actually my highest thing, anyways. Which is a good thing because I only rolled a 4, which would make it an 8.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
But it's enough to tell you whether, like, somebody who's not trying terribly hard to hide themselves, like, say, police, for example. Are the police watching your place? No, they're not.
Okay.
That's what an 8 gives you, is that
Okay.
level of observation.
Yeah.
Somebody whose job is to go to work and, go watch this house. And then they go, and then they watch your house.
I wouldn't see. Yeah.
Those
All right.
people are not there.
Alrighty. What the heck? Go upstairs.
There are messages on your phone, assuming you go in your actual apartment, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like nobody like ambushes you in the hallway. So
And there's
What you-
nowhere to hide in my apartment. I have one of those one room deals where I've done that whole. You've seen those videos where they redesign them. It's like all like storage and like pulling drawer. Like
There's a door at one end and windows at the other, and at some point there's a bathroom, and the rest is just stuff you can pull out and things happen.
Yeah.
So it's just that.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you open the door, you don't see anybody.
Bed with the dust that folds underneath.
Yeah. So you open the door, you don't see anybody. You look in the bathroom, you don't see anybody. So unless they're folded up in a drawer somewhere, you're cool. But your phone has like 5 messages from your parents. They're worried about you. They're worried about you. They're worried about you. They're hurt that you haven't contacted them, and they're worried about you. So that's kind of how that goes. Parents.
Okay. I don't talk to. They. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, and one message from what's his face, the cop. Public Affairs. I had his name here somewhere, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. The cop.
Friend of the family.
Yeah. The one I went to. Yeah.
Yes, that guy.
Sal Bannerman.
And what?
Sal Bannerman.
Sal Bannerman. Yeah, and he's not like worried or upset or guilting you. He's just like, hey, it's Sal. Just wondering how you doing. Haven't heard back. Give me a call. And he hangs up. that's it. It's like just slightly more effort than he would put into ordering a pizza.
Which is all I should expect from anybody except for my family, because they're family. Yeah.
There you go.
All
What are you
right.
You've been wearing the same thing for like days.
I've had 2 outfits for days. Yeah.
You've been wearing the same 2 outfits for like, well, actually for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like at least 6 days now.
Yeah, I am like getting cleaned up. That's just.
Lots of showering, lots of shampooing.
Yep. We're just gonna throw the clothes I bought out, and yeah, be done with that. Just like a chute down the hall to throw your garbage down.
Well, I'm sure they're washable. I mean, come on. There's no need to get crazy about it. So, fast forwarding, let's say, to the next day.
Yeah.
Where are people at that point? What has Charlotte... I mean, you've had, like, a good, I don't know, 18 hours to do stuff. Now it's, like, morning, lunchtime, the next day. What are you doing?
Well, morning, I'm going to... Well, or the night before, I'm going to... I'll call these guys... I'll call... John and be like, okay, if you guys are, if you're going to keep working on your data, I'm going to actually go ahead and show up at work so that, you know, they know I'm alive and see if I still have a job, all that
Oh,
stuff.
wow. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, cool.
Hey, might as well show up.
John, I assume she actually gets you because a lot of
Yes.
stuff you're doing is the sort of stuff you like set in motion and then just like watch it for like
Yeah.
hours.
He gave me his cell phone number.
Yeah, so she actually, when you call John, you actually get him, not an answering machine or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think?
I once knew a guy who built ships in a bottle while he was compiling.
Okay, weird.
Yeah, so I think okay. So if you're gonna keep working playing with data, I'm thinking maybe I should go into work tomorrow morning.
Hang on a second. Let me check. Check her place of business and see what her status is.
Ooh, fabulous.
You're like hacking into their personnel records or whatever.
Yeah.
Roll some dice just
Okay.
for the fun of it.
10.
That is more than you needed. Yesterday, she was on vacation. Today, which is like, at this point, it's... What time do you go to work, Charlotte?
Probably 8 a.m. or something.
Okay,
like
so let's say this is like 6:30. So today, there's no record yet.
Okay. Yeah, according to this, you were on vacation as of yesterday.
that. Oh, okay. Cool. That works.
Okay.
Other things, Brandon, that I'll do is, in addition to setting up the decryptor to decrypt all of what's her name's files,
Yeah.
I'm going to set up like a web search web scraper and start looking for like certain keywords, like our names, for example, and places like the place that the lab that we were just looking at and the address where the Illuminati was, and just start having it gather information about those places. And
Roll some dice. This would be conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Which is higher, conspiracy or your network stuff?
My network stuff.
Oh, network stuff then.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 total? Okay. There it has been a police all points bulletin for Alonzo Mosley.
Really?
And the fun thing about that is the description is actually a description of you.
All right. Interesting. Who submitted that? It had to have been the wife of the test pilot, the wife/mother of the test pilot,
Homeland Security.
because she's the only one I used the name Alonzo Mosley.
Homeland Security.
All right. Cool. I'll quietly just, shred that particular stack of business cards. Okay, I don't need those anymore. Frap.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of like attendant like why are we looking for this guy? No,
Yeah.
it's a person of interest in ongoing investigation pertaining to national security. That's all it
Creepy.
says. Yeah. Well, that's all you find on a 8
Okay.
anyway.
Well, I'm doubly glad I didn't go in.
Anybody else until round, I don't know, brunch tomorrow?
And also check like the darknet contacts I've got to see what information I can find about soldiers in black armor driving black Humvees in and around the whatever they call those labs.
You're kidding, right?
That bad, huh?
You get like a million hits on that.
Donald.
Oh, and see what else I can pick up on Charlotte and Mark Savage too.
Oh, roll 2d6. This would be a network thing.
11.
You find nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
Okay.
Like even like just ordinary news feeds from Reuters. Reuters? Reuters, right?
Right. Reuters.
Reuters. Okay. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, didn't show up.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Mark. You're not.
Oh wait. You do find one for Mark Savage. Teacher special progress award something 2015.
Oh, okay.
It's like extremely dull.
Congratulations, Mr. Savage. You won Winner of the Year award in California, Long Beach.
I was
2 years ago.
gonna say I was slightly more than competent at my job.
In 2015.
In 2015. Must have been a good year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And other than that,
I will offhandedly comment. So if you had $250,000 and wanted to make a bunch of money, what would you do?
invest it in a couple of different things.
Seems reasonable.
So whatever the modern day equivalent of like Ethereum or Bitcoin is.
Oh, have you heard Bitcoin got forked? Somebody
Yes.
forked. I mean, I'm like, wait, what? I mean, wasn't the whole point of that it was like this alternate, but now you've kind of fucked it. So, oh well.
Yeah, and there's only like half a dozen other cryptocurrencies out there right now.
Yeah, Ethereum's the big one right now that I was reading about. So.
Really?
I mean, heck, there's a Dogecoin.
Eric was investing heavily in Dogecoin.
Really?
No, as a joke, yes.
Oh. I haven't heard from Eric since the last time we talked about Eric.
There's weed coins, or what are they, 420 coins, or I forget what they're called, but something like that. It's hilarious. There's so many cryptocurrencies that there are satire cryptocurrencies.
Yes.
Fun fact. I may or may not have mentioned this before. Back when I switched from being an electrician to being web design, which is what came before being a programmer, which is what became before being a system administrator, which is what I do now. So way back.
Oh, cool. I never knew you were an electrician. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. I'm a master electrician in Virginia. And I keep that sort of... What?
Yeah, no, that's double awesome. I was the flute technical representative for the state through the 90s.
Okay. I keep it up just in case the whole internet thing turns out to be a fad. But
No, having your electrical certs is worth keeping up. I am all in favor.
I can actually have other contractors work under me as a contractor in Virginia. So, and that took like 10 years to make happen. So
I remember when you got your master status.
Yeah, it's worth keeping up.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. I've completely forgotten it. Anyway, okay, moving on.
But yeah, investing, if he's looking to invest $250,000, then yeah, I can think of, and for short-term goals, then yes, I can think of something that's
Oh! My very first web design freelance client was eGold, which was essentially, it wasn't a cryptocurrency, it was an alternate currency using actual gold stored in somebody's actual vault somewhere. And I made him a site, and it was awesome, and he didn't like it, and he decided not to use it. And I was like, okay, sorry. And he went on in his business, and then about 5 years later, he got indicted for...
for securities fraud, I'm guessing.
Or one of those things, like one of those, like, not American currency, but you're pretending to be currency kind of laws.
Yes.
Yeah, one of those. And I'm like, whew, glad I don't work for you. So, yeah, that was weird. That's the client who said, I think your yellow is too aggressive.
Well, it is possible to have an aggressive color.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen some pretty aggressive yellows out there.
Well,
but I'm
apparently
not
my
sure I
yellow
would
is
use-
too aggressive. All right,
I'm
so
not
moving
sure
on.
I would use that phrase on an eGold site because for eGold you kind of want a more aggressive yellow.
You would think so, wouldn't you? We're talking gold. Why would you not want an aggressive yellow? But no, my yellow is too aggressive. He wanted a more passive yellow. So, and I was like, can you help me with what an less aggressive yellow looks like, because
less of a lemon, more of a sunshine. I have no idea.
I really didn't know. And this is one of the reasons why I don't do web design anymore, because
What's interfacing?
clients are stupid. So, moving on. Let's move
My
on.
contractor friend often says that the only two problems with his business are the vendors and the customers.
Yeah, I get it. Moving on. Charlotte has her motorcycle. She's at her place. She's heard her messages. She's heard from her parents. She hasn't contacted them. Fuck her parents.
I'll shoot him a text, or I'll call. I'll go ahead and get
What's the text say?
everything's going swell. Love you.
Eh.
Having fun in sunny. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just saying.
Wildwood.
Well, bye. Everything is swell. Love you. That's it.
Yeah, their
Sunny
parents, that's fine.
Wildwood. Wildwood is like the nearest beach town to Camden.
I think that's fine. So, then what, Charlotte?
Then, yeah, if let's see. Well, I could go into work.
You could, as your plan.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. If there's something else to do.
You going to work?
Yep.
Your buddy? No, wait. He's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah. Suresh, the guy who's like your like number 2. You going to work? He's not there. Somebody else is there, and they're like, "Oh, are you Charlotte? Whatever the hell your last name is?
Day.
Are you Charlotte Day?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome back. How was your vacation?"
As well.
And it's some guy. He's like some doofy kind of sandy blonde guy, and he's happy to have you back. He's been here doing your job. He got out of college literally like 4 months ago and has been kind of treading water here, kind of just putting people off until you come back from, or how many? Wait, I said 4 months ago. How long have you been away? Like 2 weeks?
That's a few. Yeah, a couple. Yeah, not that long at all. Like maybe a week. Sounds like.
Okay, yeah. He got out of college. This is August. He got out of college 2 months ago. Started here a week and a half ago, and has been just kind of delaying people until you come back. And he's really glad you're back.
Yep. Jump right into it.
So here's what we have. We have 18 bodies that we're supposed to be doing examinations on, and he goes through the whole rote about what. Here, these body number 1. Here's the blah 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 blah. He just goes through the whole forensic examiner thing.
Yep.
But he doesn't actually. He might know how to do it, but it's not his job to actually sign off on it. So he's kind of waiting for you.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I'm probably completely used to seeing as I'm the pathologist having somebody to direct. So it's like, okay, it's like, okay, patient number 1, that doing this, and this, and
roll your pathology roll. You've got 18 people that are in the backlog.
I rolled an 8 plus 3, so 11.
You and your buddy, let's call him David. You and David burn through 11. You said 11?
Yeah.
Okay. You burn through 11 bodies. Do quick examinations. None of these seem in any way unusual. They were hit by a car. They had a heart attack. They had a stroke. They had food poisoning. They're all like really obvious. You roll through them. You knock 11 out the first day. Perfect. And by 4:45, well, let's say 4:30, because you got to do a whole bunch of cleanup and sanitizing and all that stuff. 4:30, you're like, yeah, that's enough for today. And then you start sanitizing tools and putting things away and writing reports and so forth.
And tell him he did a good job, of course.
He is thrilled that you're back and that you guys have been able to do stuff.
Yes. I'm sure. Yes.
Meanwhile, all day long, let's go to Donald. Mark Savage,
Yes.
you've had all day. What do you do? Wow, that's loud. But what do you do
He rocks it out.
to whatever that was?
Even I don't know what that is.
What do you do, Mark Savage? Get all day, do something, or do nothing.
I want to talk to Dak over here, whatever his name is.
John Morgan?
Yeah, I'm gonna chat with him. I obviously what I was doing, I can no longer go back to.
Being a teacher?
Well,
Being a teacher?
yeah, I can't go back to my job. They blew up my house. Imagine what they do to my students.
Ooh, that is kind of touchy. You don't want to kill your students.
Yeah.
No.
The United States is kind of hot for you right now. It seems to be the main center of attention for the people who are chasing you. You can either go underground. I mean, if you've got enough money, then that's not all that difficult. Or find a country where they're not as powerful as they are here.
Yeah, so I hate to say this, but I'm kind of a common hood turned into a special ed teacher. This ain't what I'm good at.
So your skills are basically thuggery and school teaching, huh?
Well, I was mostly a driver, but I've been known to ice pick a tutor too.
Driver. Yeah, unfortunately, the Illuminati knew that or know that, so chances are they'll be looking for you to fall into those particular career paths.
Right, they'll be looking at the families. They'll be looking at the cabbies.
Well, yeah, you say you've got a fair amount of money, then really we can find ways to get you set up with, cash flow. That's not a big problem. If you got money, you can make money.
Well, you see, they blew up my house, and my insurance settlement was on the large side.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's not a problem then. And if you're willing to bend a rule or two, I know people on the darknet who would sincerely love backers and investors. It's got very little chance of coming back on you because you're just the money guy. They're the ones actually up front taking the risks.
Right, and you never turn on your money guy because then you never get no more money.
Exactly.
All right. I might be in on this. Let's start working it.
Yeah, I'm talking about like Silk Road kind of stuff where people are supplying illegal items via the internet.
What you just told me is the Chin Persia trade routes. So I'm just gonna go with what you said. You make me money, and we stay friends.
Yeah, I don't see as how that's a problem. Brandon, start tentatively putting out some feelers to see if anybody out there on the dark web is looking for investors.
Many people.
Start vetting them to see if I can find the more reliable. Doesn't have to be a big return on the investment, but there has to be at least a return on the investment.
Make some rolls. This is a conspiracy theory roll, I think.
11 on the dice, so 13.
Wow, that's actually quite good.
So
All right.
investment overnight.
You latch on to somebody who needs 200 grand for a particular arrangement. They don't go into a lot of details, but the details they do give make you think they actually know what they're talking about. And it might or might not relate to illicit pharmaceuticals into chili.
Okay.
Do you care?
No, not really.
Okay.
It's like, as long as we're not like, backing Rwandan blood diamonds or anything like that, I'm fairly cool with the
No, it's not like dirty plutonium bombs or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not like, slave trading cruise ships full of women from South Africa or whatever. No, it's nothing like that.
Wait, into Chile instead of out of Chile?
Into Chile, yeah.
They don't have extradition with us. Okay, I'm good with this.
But anyway, it's after 10:30, so I do.
All right.
Before I turn into a pumpkin.
So you are holed up. You are in New York.
Yep.
And Charlotte's parents are okay. There's nobody actually looking for Mark Savage, as far as Lloyd's character knows. As far as Lloyd's character knows, there are people looking for Alonzo Mosley
Yes.
with his description. And yeah.
I was going to say, Mark Savage was last seen being shot out of the window of a 50-story office building.
Not according to the police. No, they're not looking for you at all.
You haven't
There's
even
no
been blown up in a houseboat.
Who's talking about the police? I'm talking about anybody. Mark Savage was last seen falling out of a 50-story office, getting shot out of a 50-story office building in Philadelphia. I think Manhattan is a safe place to set up.
Could be worse.
All
Okay,
right.
so this has been Conspiracy Theory with. Wait, let me do the music.
Music.
Ha ha! This has been Conspiracy Theory with Donald Von Griffin. Wait, what happened? I don't know either. That was weird. This has been Conspiracy Theory with Donald Von Griffin. Apparently it's working. Gareth Torres. Lloyd Montgomery. And your GM, me, Brandon Blackmore. I got nothing. If people are looking for you, hide where they're not looking. And we're gonna stop
Don't
now.
hide where the people who are looking for you are.
Makes sense. Can't argue with that.